I call this City Commission of the City of Pahokee regular commission meeting open Tuesday, January the 25th, 2022 at 6:02 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Reverend Margaret Smart, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight as our city is meeting to decide what is best for us. We thank you, and we want your light to just shine upon us. Bless the businesses in this community. May they grow. May our city know that you are the Lord of all. And we ask you to bless this meeting, bless our commissioners and our mayor, all of our city officials. And gracious Heavenly Father, we do give you the praise and thanksgiving for this day. In Jesus' holy name, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb.
Present.
Vice Mayor Boland.
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Present.
Commissioner Mervin.
Present.
Commissioner Perez.
I am.
City Manager.
Present.
City Attorney.
Here.
City Clerk. Present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff, and thank each of our residents for being here today to participate in our regular scheduled commission meeting of Tuesday, January the 25th, 2021. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge any elected officials from any surrounding communities. I do see we have a representative from Representative Skidmore office here today with us. Thanks for coming and pleasure to have you. Now we'll move right along with our agenda. The first item on our agenda is the additions, deletions, and approval of our agenda items. City Manager, at this time, do we have any addition to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, there's one addition, which is approval for my travel to Tallahassee. We moved the meeting last time to Monday, and it was an oversight. We should have had it on that agenda, but we need to add it to this.
Okay. And we'll put that under new business for its approval. Any other additions?
No, sir.
Okay. City Commission having heard there is no additions to the agenda. With your pleasure.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the agenda with the addition of the approval of the CM's travel to Tallahassee.
Is there a second? Second. It has been moved by Commissioner Boland and properly second by Commissioner Perez for the approval of our agenda with the one addition, the approval of the city manager travel to Tallahassee. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Boland.
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Commissioner Mervin.
Yes.
Mayor Babb.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. The motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to citizen comments, public service announcement. All items on the agenda, 3 minutes, please. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any public service comment cards?
Yes, sir. Tan Allen. Sam McKinstry.
Sam McKinstry, 371 East Main Street. I got a request more than anything. Several months ago, after the last IG inspection that pretty much laid bare the former city attorney and his thievery, there was a article in the Palm Beach Post that Melissa McKinley, our District 6 County Commissioner, pretty much laid waste to the City Commission and asked for a full forensic audit of the $2.3 million that was allocated for marina and campground restorations, which we all know didn't go there. So I'm asking now if we can get some kind of information from the state on whether or not that audit is going forward, and if not, why? Thank you.
Thank you. In
And it
addition,
will be a full forensic audit.
comments.
Yes. Margaret Smart.
Reverend Margaret Smart, 997 Beckham Point Road here in Pahokee. First of all, I would like to let the city council know that Canal Point United Methodist Church is going to have their annual chili dinner on February the 12th. I have cards for everybody. Thank you. And I have tickets if anybody wants them, but I only have a few. It's, please, in the audience, if you want anything about this is a chili dinner on February the 12th. We do this so that we can do mission trips. And we will be going to North Carolina in July, the end of June, on a mission trip for the same people that came down and helped us the last time we had storms. They have had some storms up there, and they are in desperate need. And maybe about 20 of us are going up to North Carolina. So this is to help the women of the church are putting this on. So please contact me or the Canal Point Methodist Church. I think there's a telephone number on there, isn't there?
Yes.
Okay, there's a telephone number on there if you want one. Now, second part of my announcement is I want to make a presentation. Oops, upside down. Years ago, there used to be a Pahokee Yacht Club. This is Coach Thompson's, it's a pillowcase, but this is Coach Thompson's, and he gave it to Harry and I when we were sailing together. Because more people would go in the chamber office when the chamber offers again. I want this for the centennial, and also want it to go on a wall, I hope, in the chamber office. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And I have one other that I wish I could have brought tonight, but Harry was not able to get it for me. When we put sod in our yard, we dug up a sign about like this, metal, and it says Grassy Waters Festival. And the painting is still good, and we'll bring it next meeting, I hope. So I want to present that also. But use this for the centennial, please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there additional comments, City Clerk?
Nalita? Is that Nalita?
Tienes que decir tu nombre y después de tu nombre di tu dirección. Y luego lo que vas a decir.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Nélida Magaña.
Good afternoon, my name is Natalie Magaña.
Estamos aquí como padres de familia.
We are here as parents of a family.
Y venimos a pedirles a ustedes que en alguna ocasión fueron a pedirnos el voto.
And we came to ask of you just the same way that you're going around knocking at our doors for votes.
queremos si nos pueden prestar un área recreativa donde nuestros niños puedan jugar, que no estén todo el tiempo pegados a tabletas o celulares. Que
We want an area where our kids can go out and play so that they won't always be tied to tablets, cellulars.
y queríamos ver si podemos contar con su apoyo.
And we want to know if we can count with your support. This is all she has to say. Gracias. Ya te puedes sentar.
Thank you.
Where did she say she lived?
Josie, what address, where does she live?
where
What area?
400 East 7th Street, lot number 2.
Okay. And then my last question, is there's an area that could be used, maybe like a mini playground or somewhere with benches or something we can look at maybe doing in that area?
Can I do my comment now, or so that I can answer all of y'all's questions? I know Johnny has one too.
Yes.
Okay, you can, she can continue with all the rest of the comments, and I can be last, so that if y'all have any questions, I can address them to you all.
No, my question was simple. That's right next to King B, right?
¿Esta es la dirección a lo de King B? Sí. Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to find a
Yes.
location for that.
Como que qué es lo que tú tienes en mente hacer, qué es lo que tú tienes en mente, qué es lo que tú quieres que hagan.
Los niños los inscribimos para jugar fútbol, ocupamos un campo para que ellos puedan.
Okay, hold on. Let me translate what you said, Ms. Perez, because they're asking, what did you ask? Can I translate what you asked her?
Yeah, I asked her what it is that she's looking for, what is she asking, how can we help? Talking about football.
She was talking,
Soccer, tú estás diciendo soccer. Y ustedes no juegan soccer aquí en la ciudad, aquí no hay un league.
No.
I thought we had a city league for kids, for soccer.
we have a league, and we have MLK Park that can be used for residents who want to play in that area, since King B is such close proximity to that adjacent park. That may be a place that we can kind of have some schedule where they can participate, but we're definitely looking further into doing
Tú
that.
estás hablando como una liga, como para la ciudad, como para la ciudad. Tus niños no jugaron para la ciudad.
No.
I think she's talking about a playground or a soccer field, one of the two.
Yeah, which one? That's
A
why.
playground, ¿tú quieres para que jueguen soccer o tú quieres para que jueguen? Un parque para que jueguen o un field para jugar fútbol.
Un fin para jugar fútbol.
Entonces,
Soccer field.
Okay.
Well, get a number for me, because I think we have good news for later on, so.
They're on the comment cards, John.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Uh-huh.
But my question is, we have a soccer league, don't we not? Didn't they start one last year? Isn't this gonna go on every year? So she's asking for a separate?
I don't want to speak if it's not my turn. I don't want to get out of
Okay.
place.
Josie can follow up at the end and clarify all that.
Yes, so, as I'm saying, I don't want to get out of place, and I don't want to get in trouble, so that's why I'm up here.
Okay. City Clerk, are there any additional cards?
Ernesto?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ernesto Fernandez. My address is 837 East Street, Pahokee, Florida. And all I'm asking is, we all trying to do this soccer. And last year, I volunteered to be a soccer coach. We were only a couple of teams. This year, now we are 12 teams. And yes, you guys do provide the field here. But last year was such a hustle that, we had a lot of kids. I mean, we trying to have our kids out. We don't want it means at home. It's something for them to be productive, something that gives them a drive. I was a coach, and when I used to go to the gas station or something, the kids would be like, hey, thank you for doing this for us. It's actually taking us out. So all we asking is for a soccer field. Because yes, we have this field here, but then we have football, and now it's not just 6 teams, now we 12. So the field keep getting smaller and smaller.
Okay, I got
And now it's 12 teams, and we have a lot of kids this year. And it would have been nicer if we could have even more teams, because now we get more people involved. And this is not just one color, it's every color. This is not.
Boys and girls.
Yeah,
Así no de
Thank you.
van a ser por el soccer field.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That's what we're working on.
If I could, there's a lot of echoing in the back. We got this new mic system because of our live streaming. Okay, I didn't know where it was coming from. I'm just hearing a lot. Thank you. City Clerk, are there any additional cards?
Kitty? Is it Kitty?
Hello, my name is Ketty Vasquez. I live at 1018 Northeast 23rd Street, Everglades, Florida, and I'm here to represent the Pahokee FC. If I look at my phone, it's because I have speech. I am one of the coaches for this season and the past season. We have played here at the football field. What we're asking for is a soccer field that is up to the standards for our kids. Our league has grown. I'm here to ask for support for our kids, not just the Hispanics, but kids of all races, so it matters. An equal opportunity to every kid should be given, whether it's soccer, football, or whatever the case may be. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, that participated in last year's season and will be participating this year too because they love it. Even for the kids with special needs. My son is autistic, and his social skills have improved because of one of the many programs he's in, and this is one of them. This is a very helpful program for many kids. They've learned teamwork. They learn how to overcome things. This program honestly has life lessons hidden that come day to day. Their faces light up when they see other kids. They love coming together, playing a sport that they enjoy. They love receiving those trophies towards the end of the season, and they look forward towards the following year. I personally love seeing the children day to day, seeing them enjoy the time we practice together, and I think it'll be unfair that these kids don't receive the support they need and want. We are stopping the next generation from rising up to their full potential. Thank you.
In addition, comments, card.
Is it Rosita or Rosetta? Rosa?
Hello, I'm Raisa Prieto, 556 Barack Obama Boulevard, Pahokee, Florida. And I'm a volunteer coach as well. I just want to add up to Pahokee FC. This is my second year coaching. I coach years 4 to 6. And you're probably asking, what are 25 years old doing coaching? Don't you have a life? But I love, this is a sport I really love. And also love seeing the kids enjoying what they're doing. I wish I had this when I was 5 or 6 years old. Who would have thought I could have been the next Alex Morgan? But I didn't have that opportunity. So I want to give these kids the opportunity I didn't have. But there's a problem. As you see, we're practicing on a football field. It's made for football. And you did say there's the MAK Park. But have you seen the MAK Park? I've been playing there. And did I get hurt there? Yes. Mm-hmm. There's no lights. So right now, with the time change, we cannot play. So we just asking for something for soccer. Not just for the Hispanic community, but for everybody. I think it's a way we could get the community closer. If you step in our field, you won't see just Hispanics. You see any color. So, thank you.
Thank you.
In additional cards, City Clerk.
Alejandro? Josie?
Josie Hernandez, 2520 Southwest 14th Terrace, Pahokee, Florida, 33476. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here in behalf of Pahokee FC. I'm not here to argue with anybody, to fight with anybody, because we've seen that a lot, and I think it's time that we all move on and show these kids that there is true leadership in Pahokee, and we can make a difference. And the reason I brought this kid with me is because he's one of the young ones of Pahokee FC. And he adopted me as a mom. He never wants to go. He's always with me. And the one that she talked about, the autism, he's in my team too. So I try to get the ones that have a hard time learning and have a hard time trying to get that ball rolling. I work with those because they need a one-to-one more basis. And as you can see, and I want you to know that we started this last year, as Commissioner Perez said, she's correct. We started this last year, and it became a big success. And I appreciate all of you that went out there for our award ceremony. I thank you all. It was great. And as you can see, this year we have over 85 kids now enrolled. So now we have 12 teams. And we have 12 coaches, 3 assistants, and so far 1 referee. And all of this, we're doing it all of our own free time, volunteering. We all have jobs. We all work, yet we go quickly, do what we got to do, and come back at the field faithfully every day at 6 p.m., starting February. And Mike can vouch for that we do it every day. It's not some days, and these coaches, they're so reliable. It's not like, oh, I'm out today, or leave the kids. No, they come here every day. So what I'm here to ask you all, and as you can see, you have the parents and the children, because I told them, I said, sometimes, I said, us adults get moved by the child that smiles, by the child that cries, by the child that throws a tantrums. We get moved as parents. And for some reason, they have the gift that they manage to control the adult. And we get to do what they want for some reason. So that's why we brought them here, because I told them if they don't listen to us, probably when they see us nice, sweet faces, they'll probably bend a little their heart. So what I'm here to ask each one of you commissioners, Commissioner Mervin, Commissioner Perez, Commissioner Vice Mayor Regina, Mayor Babb, Commissioner Gonzalez, City Manager and City Attorney, what we're here to ask you is, our teams have grown. We're all Pahokee residents. We all live here. We all reside here. We need more than that field to practice. And if we can walk with you all, if you offer us another field, we can walk with the coaches. But is it in good condition for these kids to practice? Is there lighting? Are the poles up? Are there holes? And this is a great, and we appreciate it. This is a great field, and we appreciate it. But we have a hard time. Every time we want to play, we have to set it up with soccer tape and cones to make it become a soccer field. And then the kids get confused because the yard lines are already pasted there. Now, our question is we have a very beautiful football field Anquan Bolden donated. We have a basketball field, gymnasium, brand new. We have a track for the track, but we don't have nothing for soccer. And yet we have 12 teams, and we don't have anything. So the only thing I'm here to do is I need y'all to support this cause, and I need sponsors. I need for y'all to pull your networking people. And if people are hearing me right now and we're being recorded, I need everybody that's running for legislation, anybody that can hear us, any county commissioners, that we need y'all. This city needs everybody. We need our leaders. We can't function without our leaders. Our leaders have to set the example, and then we go behind them. But if we're not setting the example, what hope do we have for these kids? And I wanted to read you
Josie.
wanted to read you our
Josie.
mission statement.
Hey, Josie.
Josie.
I'm sorry, did I run out of our minutes?
No. Didn't you fill up those 12 teams in one day?
Yes,
of
I
open
did.
enrollment?
I did, and the people that are here can tell you, Octavio and Rodriguez can tell you, because they were picking up the applications over there, they can tell you that they were calling me, hey, Josie, man, we're getting more people. You have room for more? And I'm like, what age are they? I don't know where to put them anymore. And it's true, I don't.
Josie, to give you a little bit of comfort, I don't know how they feel about it, but we brought it to Tallahassee's attention about a soccer field. We did talk to politicians in reference to specifically a soccer field.
Okay.
Not just a soccer field, a stadium to bring to our area. There's no area around here that has a soccer field for anybody. So they themselves told me they're focused on Pahokee, so don't give up. We're not giving up, don't give up.
No, I'm not. I told these kids, and Rice is correct. These kids cried. And Mike's not here, but Mike can tell you, these kids were literally crying and telling us, well, why aren't we doing it no more? They wanted to do it all year because there's nothing for them to do and burn their energy. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like, I can't no more. You know, we have enough with y'all 6 months because it does get tiring and the parents see it. But I wanted to read you our mission statement. Mission, leadership begins with us. Our mission is to positively impact the development of youth in our community by providing soccer and life-enriching opportunities to young players of all ages and playing abilities, to create a lifelong passion for the sport of soccer, and to help raise the level of soccer in our city. We strive to play an active role in our leadership, development, and personal growth of our players and staff by being an active member of our community through service, partnership, and programs. Our ultimate goal is, as a club, to encourage, inspire, and empower each player and coach to be able to reach the highest level possible within the game and life, while helping create leaders and individuals that will inspire others to do the game. We all know that Pahokee has been known to bring out great NFL players. Our coach just said, how come we can't have this Messi coming out of Pahokee, Florida? If y'all go by these fields, these kids have some talent. They have some skills. And just for your record, some of them that play at the Pahokee football, they're soccer kickers, that they recruit them from our soccer team. So I just want to let you know that I'm here to ask you all to please support. Understand that this is your community. They need you all to respond to the demand we have. We appreciate what you've done, giving us the field. We appreciate it. But we would like more. We're not being greedy, but if you don't ask, no one hears us. So if you ask, it will be given. So we're here asking you all that we need a soccer field, because this is not a soccer field, but we do need it. So also,
Josie, what we can do, maybe at our next commission meeting, invite you back to do a presentation more in depth. At that time, hopefully the city manager can do some research on funding and see what we can do to move this forward.
A suggestion I'd like to make, Josie, is that you get your group together and let's go to the county commission meeting and do the same exact thing. Take the kids, take the parents, and let's go together and say, we need the county's help. We need you all to back this. We want it. Let's do it. Get on board with it.
I just share something with Josie that the county is currently working on.
Yes.
I also have a proposal for what they're working on currently for the pageant park.
Right. I spoke to the county about it about 2 months ago, and they were looking into trying to do something because I was talking to them and saying we have to have a soccer field. Yeah.
So can I share, before I leave, can I give each one of you a sponsorship letter?
Sure.
To sponsor a team, We have 12 teams. If you would like to sponsor a team, it's $500. The kid will get a jersey, and your name will go on the back of the jersey. See, like this? Your name will go on back, the number, and right here will say P, like this. So, just so that you can see.
How many kids in a team?
And the little ones from 5, the little kids from 5 to 6, there's 4 teams. And each one in a team is 6. Like they said, it's growing. The big ones, we have 4 teams from 9, ages from 9 to 14. We have 4 teams, however, those teams are a lot bigger. They're 10 players because they're more competitive.
Right.
And they really want to compete.
And just some small math, $100 per commissioner would be a whole team.
Exactly. So thank you for making that, but that's up to you all. But I just wanted to present it because most of you are business partners. Most of you have businesses. Most of you have networking. And I figure if I give y'all a letter, then y'all can share it with y'all's people, and then y'all can come
Josie.
back and
Josie, here's your first team sponsorship.
All right.
Okay.
Here
Thank
you go.
you. Checks are made out to Pahokee FC, not to me.
You can fill it out.
I'm putting it right here because I don't want anybody else. Pahokee FC. Thank you.
You're welcome.
On behalf of Team BAM, that's Tammy Bunting, Tanzania Allen, and Lieutenant Muttrich. We would like to sponsor.
Thank you.
Pays to show up. Thank you, hon. I can tell you that I was very instrumental in building the soccer fields in Cooper City. And it was a group just like this that got together and actually put those soccer fields together. So if it can be done there, it can be done here. So all we have to do is just pull together, stay together, and follow the lead and get it done.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Huh? Right now, I have BAM, which will be you.
10.
And then I have our attorney, our city attorney, so that's 2 teams.
3.
And you have 12 teams, right?
And then Mr. Thompson is sponsoring 1,
All
so
right.
that's 3 teams. 3, who? Deputy Dim Jensen.
All right.
Tough cuts? Tough cuts. Oh, thank you, Valentin, thank you.
And just to catch everybody up, I've met with this group, myself and Mr. Pickney's met with this group
Thank
to try to figure out long-term goal is a field, but they need practice fields right now. So we're trying to figure out where these kids can practice, trying to think out of the box and find some spots they can play.
What about the county one? No one's down there.
I'm told that there's future plans to put a soccer
Yeah,
field there, but
that's the one that we
that's
were
down the
talking about.
road,
Yeah.
and these kids need something a
Oh,
little sooner.
Thank you, sir.
So,
We'll start building on that in October.
and
Yeah.
this easily could be 300 kids this year.
Yeah.
This was one day,
Oh
a
my
few
God,
hours
that
of
is
open
so
enrollment.
good. I just have to share. I'm sorry to interrupt y'all. I have 8 already.
That's
There you
great.
go.
I am so sorry.
Goes to show you we can work
Oh
together.
my God, kids, it happened. It happened, kids. 8. Thank you. Then I'll get together with you what you want behind the jersey. So it's what you want, then we're gonna put it like Lieutenant Mugridge, him and Tan want it to say bum.
Bam.
Bam.
Big difference between bum and
I can
down.
Get that clarified.
Huh? You want one too? Okay, what's your name?
Put MCA on the back.
MCA, oh.
Yeah, Jeffrey Willis.
Okay.
Great, man.
She only needs 3
Yes,
now.
I got
She's
you.
down.
You too. Yes.
Come on, she only needs 3.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
more.
That's it.
Phew.
I know Representative Abel,
Oh, that was you? Oh, yes. She contacted me when y'all were at the Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
She contacted me.
All right.
Yes.
So now you only need 2, right?
Huh? With, if they get us one more.
Josie, you got another one back there.
Well, then that means that we're gonna have to accept more applications. I'm sorry, we didn't want to get any more because we had so many kids. It's 86 kids a total. And we couldn't do it anymore.
Excellent.
But, thank you.
Water, the drinks, put the other donations towards the other stuff.
Yes, thank you so
Thank-
much, everybody.
thank you.
I appreciate y'all. And speaking from everybody, see, and it's so beautiful. You see, a meeting can get conducted so sweet and so nice.
How it works.
City Clerk, do we have any more comment cards?
Jeffrey Willis.
How's he gonna top that?
Yeah, we got to. It's definitely hard to top that. I'm gonna pass. Can you? All right, so my name is Jeffrey Willis. A lot of people know me as the Monk City Angler. I want to talk about 2 things. I'm pushing around here the layout for the 2022 season for fishing. So there you'll see the actual sponsorship for the boat and for the expo that we're looking to do in a few months ahead. So with the boat, I wanted to do something different this year. The boat, I'm looking to, let me wait until everybody get there. Ain't no time. Oh, they got time now? Oh,
Got one more?
I'm sorry.
Go, your makeup, go ahead on.
All right, so you guys got 2 pieces of paper there. One being one for the boat this year. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year, and I wanted to be a moving advertisement of the Tri-City. Many of you know that I've worked in the Tri-City for the last 3 years with the kids in all 3 cities in reference to doing outdoor activities. For me, fishing in the Muck City, the MCA Total Experience has been one of those things that I've been able to work in a lot of the elementary schools, the Boys and Girls Club. I've held summer programs. I've worked with the Urban Leagues of America. And doing these outdoors activities. This year we're looking to do an expo. We're going to do it different this year. This year is going to be a 3-day event. We're looking to bring all that traffic from Clewiston right here to our area. And so we're going to get together with all the boaters on Friday. We're going to have a nice dinner for them. We're going to bring them to our area, our little hub here in the Tri-City. So we're looking to bring at least 100 boats in right there at Torrey Island. Friday night we're going to feed them, do the instructions piece. Saturday is the best part though. Saturday we're gonna have a live country band out there. The guys will be able to go out and fish Saturday morning. They can bring their wife, their kids. The kids will have a whole fishing tournament that'll go on out there at Slim's. We'll give rewards. We're gonna give trophies. It's gonna look just like the big leagues. We're gonna do it just like that, but right here at Torrey Island. So that's April 15th, I believe, 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Yeah. Yes, 15th, 16th, 17th.
And so the last 3 years has been really successful. We've had over 100 and we'll probably had over 250 people at both events. You can find them on social media, and YouTube under MCA Fishing 21. That way you can go back and kind of look at what we've done in the past so that you guys can have a better visual to what we're looking to do here in the future. So we want to put Pahokee, the city of Pahokee logo on the boat this year as a representative of the Tri-City. So to be able to travel with all 3 cities on there as a representation of the total experience, I think would be really cool and set a really example for our area. And so we can take questions. My wife will probably answer them. But yeah, so I do want to thank you guys. Ma'am, wherever she went, I really take my hat off to you, ma'am, because we need a lot of people that would stand and not be afraid to come in here and have that type of conversation, regardless of thoughts and feelings. That's very necessary. Parents, even more shout out to y'all, because you don't get a lot of parents that's willing to come out. And it's important, and I can relate because I deal with kids outdoors and fishing and hunting and, you know, that type of stuff. And it's needed. It's needed. Our kids need it, and they need to be outside. And so I definitely wanted to pour back into that because I thought that was really cool. And so thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City Clerk, are there any additional comments, cards?
Ms. Willis?
Hello.
Hello.
As I was introduced earlier, I am the district aide for Representative Kelly Skidmore, who has District 81, and this is our area. I wanted to just give you guys a couple of quick updates. Representative Skidmore is currently still in Tallahassee. I was supposed to be up there with her, but I ended up catching COVID a couple weeks ago, so I stayed home. But the HB 2567 for Pahokee Memorial Park improvements, it did pass favorably in agriculture and the Natural Resources Subcommittee, and it's now in appropriations. HB 2557, which is Pahokee East Main Street Stormwater Improvement, it passed favorably in the Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee.
Great.
It is now in appropriation. And HB 2769, which is the Pahokee Marina Improvement, has not yet got on an agenda for a subcommittee yet. I have been very vocal and instrumental in the whole, just making sure most stormwater stuff passed because they know it's, you know, it's imperative. But I really spoke up and spoke with Representative Skidmore a lot, especially about the park. I grew up right here in Pahokee, born and raised. I call myself a true muck baby. I had both of both worlds. And I grew up in that park, and so when she was asking questions about that particular park, I was very, you know, like, hey, I don't care what you do, make sure these kids get a park, because I remember when I was a little girl, even though I still had a scar from being hit in the face at that park, but I played in that park literally every single Sunday. After getting out of church, I grew up at New Hope. So I'm here. I know a lot of people did not know that I was the district aide, but yes, I am. I'm the new district aide on her staff. I'm here to serve our communities. Because I didn't want to just feel like I had to serve Belgrade, I had to serve Perka, so I want to be able to serve the entire Glades area because I have grown up in each and every one of them. So whatever you guys need as constituents, I don't care if it's you ain't got your unemployment, you ain't get your food stamps, whatever it is, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll do everything in my might to make sure that you guys got what you have, okay? Other than that, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. I do commend Josie. Representative Skidmore is on board 100% with the whole soccer thing. She did ask me how could she be a sponsor, so I need to get one of those sponsorships.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll share
I'll
one.
give to her so that she can make sure she's a sponsor. And I wear many hats because my husband is the MCA fisherman, so any questions on that as well. But however we can help, I mean, seriously, just let us know. All right? Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I left from home rushing, but I'll give you my phone number just so you can call me.
Thank you.
It's noteworthy for those that don't know, Representative Skidmore has sponsored all 3 of our legislated acts this year. Just unheard of. She's the one to speak in front of the House of Representatives to push those priorities legislation that we have, and we thank her for that. She has been a blessing for this area, especially for the city of Pahokee. In additional cards, City Clerk.
Dr. Wallace?
I'm Dr. Patricia Wallace, 1381 East Main Street, and I want to say to Josie and the team, great job. We are here in this site because of CYCI, which is Concerned Youth for Community Improvement, since 1992. And we are the ones responsible for this even being a recreational site. when the city obtained this property from the school board, they were at odds of what they're gonna do with it, but we had no recreation for our children. So it was the parents who helped me get 662 votes to challenge the city commissioner at the time to turn this into a recreation site for our children because they had no way to go, but they were being blamed for juvenile crimes that were happening in the city that really was not their part. So with Concerned Youth came the City Park and Recreation later to occupy the space, but we sent the first set of parents to school to get trained for child care, and they made an impact. They adopted MLK Park. You'll see a sign out there, adopted by Concerned Youth for Community Improvement, which was the first grassroots group. So continue to do your work that you're doing, and we're here whenever you need us. So thank you so much. My issue addressed different issues than that based on the agenda. One has to do with the recall election status that I guess will come under old business. Do you want me to talk about it now or wait until it's discussed? Because it may get discussed at that time. So I can come back once that discussion is done. And the second issue is concerning the December the 14th meeting in the attorney's comment. In the attorney's comment at the end of that meeting, he referred to the churches. I'm a clergy and have been for the last 35 years. And one of the things he said was that the churches was harvesting votes. And I think that this council voted to have the government come in to legislate our election. That's fine. If it takes that to keep everybody honest, that's fine. But what I did not think was appropriate was to accuse the churches, the clergy, of harvesting votes. We have a lot of churches in the city of Pahokee. And harvesting votes, to say that, it means that they're stealing votes. Our job is to do justice and have mercy. And doing justice is helping that old lady who can't come. If they do absentee votes, yes, I'm sure pastors and community people, some of you got votes from absentee votes. Many of you got votes by people anybody in here go to church? Those are the people that voted for you. And to say that the churches are harvesting votes is to accuse us of misconduct. And I don't think that's appropriate for that action to be stated and that all the churches are blamed for that. Any church, regardless of what the denomination is, what the religious background, I think this board need to refrain from saying those kind of statements that affect our whole community. As a clergy person, I was greatly offended by it, and I think we should not, this commission, I did not appreciate the fact that it even came to the floor. And especially now it's election time. We've gone through a lot in this city. I've been at the forefront of a lot of it because I did not appreciate the way I observed things going. And if we're gonna tell the facts, tell the whole truth. I don't think there's nobody in this commission that got elected that did not get elected with some absentee votes. That means someone is helping their granddaddy, their elderly mama who cannot come to a poll to get their votes in on time. Churches do not tell people who to vote for. It's against the law. We register people to vote. We encourage our congregations to vote because your voice counts. And it should count. But please, I ask that you, in the future, just refrain from that kind of accusation against the house of God and the people of God just to get some other point across. I'd like to come back after I hear the recall election report to see if the questions are answered there, then I won't have any comment.
Pastor Wallace, just for clarification, once the public comments are closed. The discussion will be amongst the commission only. So if you have anything to speak on, I would speak on it now.
I won't be able to talk after that point.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the recall election status, I was very confused after the chief judge had ordered the recall election, that this board allowed the attorney to file a lawsuit against the 500 and something citizens, nearly 600 citizens who voted not once, but twice to do a recall, regardless of who that recall is on. When the citizens speak, we should respect that. Now, for y'all to, and it came from the city. The lawsuit came through Vice Mayor Bolden, an attorney, that sued us and asked for emergency injunction to stop the recall, which was scheduled for February the 1st. Now, there's other work being done. Whether it happened now or after the election, it ain't over. Because people's voice count. These kids' voice counted tonight. Their parents are voters. And when the people speak, respect that they speak. A lot of us have went through a lot. My family has been threatened. I've been profiled. I've been put on Facebook. I've been lied on. And that ain't over. But we have to stop it, especially if anyone is participating in feeding the public false things about the citizens of Pahokee. So we have to be very careful with what we say, because nobody's keeping what you say private. Nobody's keeping where y'all go private. Nobody's keeping what y'all do private. You are public officials. And yes, people will come at you because you've taken that seat, you've taken that oath, and you got our vote. So when you, whether I vote for you or not, if you're a commissioner in this city, you represent me whether you like it or not. I haven't voted for everybody up here. That's my business. But because you took the seat, you represent me. You owe it to me as a citizen to respect the citizens of the city of Pahokee. I am so glad tonight that the kids saw the best in you all, because that means something to me. I'm not going to worry about the things you already know, because I don't have to tell you what you already did, what you already done. We all know that. When you think nobody knows your business, everybody knows your business better than you know it. I'm just asking that when we talk about this recall election and status, I want to know, when did y'all vote to have the attorney sue the citizens for to stop the election? When did y'all vote against that? And anybody can answer that. Did you authorize it?
I don't believe the commission took action on it.
So if the commission did not authorize it, by what authority did the attorney sue the citizens, took it to court on behalf of Vice Mayor Boland, and who paid for it?
In the city of Pahokee.
I'm sure to be addressed as the issue comes up on the agenda.
But then you saying I won't be able to speak on it, and that's a flaw that I have with our system. It's set up like it's set up, but a lot of times you disclose things that we don't know until after citizen comment. So now after the citizen comment, and then all of this pop at citizens, then you hear the noise in the congregation, is because now new evidence, new information is coming up that we don't know nothing about. So since I'm mandated to speak now, I should receive an answer, unless you're gonna allow me to come back under old business if I have a question about what is stated about the recall.
Ma'am,
but I do want to know
this
who
agenda is
authorized
set
it.
up similar to every municipality in this state. It's
And
no
that's
different
fine.
from
I just want to know who authorized the attorney on behalf of the city of Pahokee to sue the citizens of Pahokee for Regina vote.
I'm sure that question will arise as the commission debates.
Mayor, with all due respect, I think she has a valid point. What she's making is on the agenda. So if the answer cannot be answered now, I think, Mayor, you're the chair. We can have her come back if she have questions, once that get down to discussions. If it's not gonna be answered now or not, we can make a motion to move it up right now in the agenda so it can be discussed.
Okay. We'll also give the attorney an opportunity to go ahead and answer that question now. Who gave you the authority or the authorization to bring a lawsuit on behalf of the city?
Mayor, I'm very glad you gave me that opportunity, and Pastor, I'm very glad you brought that issue up. I'm extremely happy to report that I was able to save the city between $20,000 and $30,000 and a whole lot of trouble, because that ballot would have been thrown out after the election anyways. It was fatally flawed from the very beginning. Anyone that looked at it would have known that. So I'm very proud to be able to say that I saved you all $30,000 and a lot of trouble that you would have gone through had you all had your votes overturned in the future, because that's what would happen. In the backup tonight is a copy of the judge's order, and as the Reverend knows, and as the mayor knows, the judge agreed with me on every single point. Not even a question. So that's the only comment I'm going to make on that tonight, Mayor. That's it.
Mayor, may I speak?
Yes, you may.
He didn't answer my question at all. I know what's in the law. I know that the 3 judges totally looked at it, and what the judge he finally got to overturn it, went back into it, and whatever they said, they did. I'm not worried about that, because the people will speak on March the 8th. Yes, ma'am. We gonna vote. But what I'm worried about is who gave him the authority to file a lawsuit against us. Because I had 1 vote. The other 600 came from these people. And you were
let me just correct the record, because
our
I think it's appropriate that we make sure that we have the correct facts.
We got the facts.
The lawsuit was not against the people of Pahokee.
It says
the
city of
lawsuit was
Pahokee.
against the recall committee, which was 5 people, including you. Mayor,
and the
you were supporting the recall. You would have cost the city $30,000 and a lot of headache.
The question is, who gave you the authority even to file a suit against the recall committee? A lawyer on his own cannot bring suit against anyone without a majority
Well,
support
it appears
of this
to me
commission.
the judge disagreed with you on that.
Then
And I do have the authority to represent the city.
Not on
under
your
both-
own.
Under both the charter and my
Not on
contract.
your own, you don't. You have to have permission to file a lawsuit.
By the city ordinance and by the city charter, Mr. Brandenburg, you're not allowed to go out and file anything without the approval of 3 or more from the city commission, unless you had an outside meeting somewhere with 3 commissioners. But by your ordinance, you're not allowed. So the question again, who authorized Mr. Brandenburg to file a lawsuit against the recall committee?
I think I was quite clear on that.
I think we answered that question. I'm not done.
I believe I had the authority, and I'm the only
It's
one
not
that
either-
authorized
it's
it.
not, I believe
So
you had the
disagree
authority,
with
but
me.
that is actually-
Apparently, the judge agreed with me.
The judge
That's
didn't
not what the judge
necessarily
said,
agree
no.
with him. The chief judge ordered the date of the recall for February the 1st. Now, part of what he took was things to take it out of the original lawsuit. And it was against the,
Why does the citizen
the
get to sit
chair
up here and
of
talk
our
for 20
recall
minutes
committee
nonstop?
took,
Mr. Mayor?
We had a
Why is-
presentation that went 20 minutes.
We just let the soccer
She's
team
not-
set up here
she
15
came up as a
minutes because this is
citizen's
something you don't
comment,
want to
and she's been
hear.
here for a half an hour.
I have not been here half an hour, Vice Mayor Boland. I asked a question, I'm trying to get an
Right,
answer
and
to
you
that
have
question.
3 minutes. That's like everybody
But
else. but you've been
everybody
up here
else had more
talking.
than 3 minutes. And if y'all gonna do that, then you're gonna do it for one, you need to do it for all.
You just-
If
Ms.
you're not
Josie
gonna be
sat there for
fair,
15
don't
minutes
do
or
it
so.
at all. So all I want is an answer, which the attorney says he said all he gonna say on it. But then, I'm holding this commissioner responsible for those actions.
Good.
And tell you that that's not over, because our voices do count. Our voices
Well, I
count,
can answer
and they
Ms.
will count.
Great.
Well,
They'll
I
count
did
on
not-
March 8th.
I did not have a meeting.
Commissioner Perez, did you authorize the attorney to do the lawsuit?
I didn't authorize it, but I support him.
But you didn't authorize it?
I wasn't asked.
Okay. Well, she couldn't because he was representing her. Gonzalez, did you authorize it?
No offense, Reverend, but
Okay,
it's
did
public
you-
comment, not question
Is
and
she allowed to
answers.
question the
It's
commission?
not question and
Well,
answers.
I'm asking the
Okay.
question because
This
y'all
is
got an attorney
ridiculous.
that,
She's not a commissioner.
Both,
and you are disrespectful, Ms. Boland, because
Yes,
I would
ma'am, I
not
am
do
when
that
it's
to you
like this.
if you were
Yes,
up
ma'am,
here.
I certainly am.
I
You've
wouldn't
had
do
enough
that.
time, you've had more time than anybody else.
No.
And it's enough.
No, no.
This has
no.
been settled by the court,
No, it's been illegally settled by the
in
court.
your opinion, which matters not at all.
I know it don't matter to you now, but
Let's
it will
see on
matter
March 8th, okay?
We will.
Yes, ma'am, thank
But
you.
Mayor, this is a very disrespect action of our city officials. This is the main reason you get extra noise in the audience. I'm a citizen,
Are you gonna-
taxpaying citizen,
Are you gonna stop
and
this,
I
or
want
you just
to,
gonna let it go
voice
on
a
for the
complaint
next half an hour?
that our commissioners,
Come on,
vice
Keith,
mayor,
are you gonna be a mayor?
should not
Get that gavel and use it, for God's
should,
sakes.
should not disrespect the
Wallace.
citizens of Pahokee.
You don't know how, hand it over, I'll show you how.
No, you done took his job long enough. It's time for
She
you to
won't
let
get
him be
close
the
to it.
mayor and you be the vice
Be
mayor.
nice if he did it.
Thank you so much for the time that was totally interrupted by Ms. Boland.
You're welcome.
Totally disrespect. Totally disrespect.
are there any comments card? That was the
We
last
use the
card.
energy that we use in this
Isn't that
dance
the
to
truth?
attack each other. You know, we will be doing so much great work.
City Clerk, I didn't hear you. That was the last card?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll move to the next agenda item, which is approve of minutes. We don't have any minutes to approve at this time. We don't have any consent agenda items. We'll move to our regular agenda, which will be ordinance and public hearings. We don't have any ordinance and public hearings. We do have a resolution, Resolution 2022-03, City Attorney.
Mr. Mayor, this is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, authorizing the mayor's execution of an application to the Florida Department of Transportation for a permit for a Centennial Parade.
Thank you. City Manager, could you give us just a brief explanation for this ordinance?
Mr. Chair, this would be,
Resolution, I'm sorry.
move this motion to give yourself the authority to approve the application for the parade.
City Commission, having had our city attorney properly read the resolution into the minutes, properly explained by our city manager, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 2022-03.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Boland and properly second by Commissioner Perez for the adoption of Resolution 2022-03. Call for questions,
I have one.
Commissioner.
City Clerk, it says Saturday, March 4th, but Saturday is March 5th. So is it on Friday or is it on Saturday? I think. I looked it up because I was kind of confused.
Reverend Wallace?
The parade is scheduled for a Friday or a Saturday?
It's for Saturday.
Saturday, so it
Saturday,
would be the
so it's the
5th.
5th.
Just need a correction there.
And then I think there was some question about, today I got a question about the route. Are we attaching a,
That goes with the application. It doesn't
okay,
have to
so
be
it's the
public.
regular route that we run like at the Christmas parade?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Boland,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Mervin,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we move to the other agenda items. Presentation, we don't have any. Where we'll be on the presentation, we have the Barfield Highway update. City Manager.
Mr. Chair, I've asked Robert Audette, he's our CEI, company's Momentum, that handles the day-to-day at the Barfield project, and I asked him to come to give a short presentation on where we are at and where we're going.
Hi, my name is Robert Audette. I'm Senior Project Engineer for Momentum CEI. And just so we're clear on what Momentum CEI does, we are the owner representative. We represent the city of Pahokee for vis-a-vis the contractor. So the contractor builds the project and answers to me. I basically am the person that the contractor addresses his questions to when he has issues on the project, when he has questions on the project, and I work on resolution of those issues. The project got into a late start due to COVID related, due to procurement issues relating to COVID. Project is the reconstruction of Barfield Highway. It's not a milling and resurfacing job. So basically what we're doing is we're rebuilding the roadway from zero. As you can see, it's pretty extensive work. We're removing the old pavement. We're putting in new curb and gutter in place. We'll be putting in sidewalk on both sides of the roadway. We're replacing the old existing culvert at the Pelican Canal with a new concrete 84-inch culvert pipe with concrete head walls, and then we'll be resurfacing the entire roadway. So this is a 440-day project. During the course of the project, the contractor has encountered certain difficulties, and this is to be expected. Once you dig in the ground to put in new pipe, you encounter stuff that you didn't expect was there, and this has an impact on the schedule. So we're working with the contractor right now to quantify these delays so we can add time to the contract, and I'm basically coordinating this between the city, FDOT, and the contractor. Right now, the contractor submitted a schedule where he anticipates completion of the project for March of 2023. So we're going to have to do a contract change to extend the contract time for the project. I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of what the problems are, but these are typical issues we encounter that pertains to utility. Like I said, there was some impact due to COVID. It affects material procurement, so that delayed the start of the project, and it also has an impact on getting concrete, getting some other materials. So it has an impact on the schedule. If there's any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I have one or two.
Yes.
I know that the city attorney wants, and I don't know if he have changed his mind, questioning that particular project. I think the engineers receive a payment, or will receive a total payment of about approximately $500,000, $500,000. This is a $4.3 million project. The city attorney was on the assumption that just some asphalt could be spread over the road and the project could be complete. He had requested for our city manager to contact the state attorney's office, the ethics office, the IG office and a host of legislators questioning the amount for that particular project. So my question to you is, a $4.3 million total reconstruction of a road, do you think that the contractor received an overpayment in that amount as far as engineering that construction project?
I handle the construction aspect, not the design aspect or the design costs. Off the top of my head, I couldn't give you an answer on what the proper design costs should be for project.
Mr. Chair, he oversees the construction, and the pre-design came before that. So Mr. Audette don't have anything to do with that. I will say, because of procurement issues, the contractor suggested getting some smaller aggregate and different blends of concrete, and Mr. Audette has held their feet to the fire and made them come through with the plan as designed, and he did a great job for us. That we've talked about before, you may see 4 or 5 people out there a day, you may see 15 people out there a day as the project changes. It comes in phases. I'll let Robert finish.
And my last question was, due to the changes or delays that have occurred, what is the new timeline now for projected completion of the project?
Right now, the last schedule that was submitted by the contractor shows a completion of March 2023. A little over a year from now.
Mr. Mayor, am I to make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that I live on Barfield Highway, and I want to let everybody know, believe me, they start construction early, because my little dog wakes up the minute that thing starts going down the road. And she lets us know they are out there and they're working. So it's really amazing how quickly they're moving along with it, I think.
I have one. I got a call from the owners of that property where they're staging at, where the staging area is.
Yeah.
And they're asking that, I don't know why they didn't call, but anyway, that the material be moved off of that property because they're ready to start building and doing the soil, test the soil and start building the apartments. Because from what was told, they said it was never asked to be staged on the property there. So it's like almost like it's a liability, because it was like they didn't give an okay for no one to be there, first of all. But they're only asking, are they ready to start building, preparing for building on that site?
I've required that the contractor provide some agreement for all the areas that they're using for staging. And on site, there are 2 areas. There's one area where they have their trailer, and I think a building is supposed to get started at some point in the future. And there's another area by the canal that they got an agreement to do some staging. So I don't know which one of the 2 areas.
Maybe city manager, Mr. Tucker,
I
can
believe-
check that out, because Mr. Snodgrass called. And I know the whole area belongs for the homes that's coming up there. And I know they asked they didn't have no agreement. He didn't know that they were no one even on the property.
He has not contacted me. This is the first I've heard about it. And she's, Commissioner Mervin, correct me if I'm wrong, she's referencing where they had the laydown, where the old hospital used to be, farther down, just where they started milling.
Right. Well, that area was, had been coordinated with Ms. Jocelyn Adams at the beginning of the project, and she had given the contractor the green light to use the area for staging area.
So I guess now, since you're saying it's 400 and how many days to complete that project?
Right.
But they're ready now to go in and start laying their stuff to start their project.
They can just address it to Rosso.
So I guess
no, they just
you
need to
can
talk.
contact
Talk to the
those two
contractor.
heads, Mr. Thompson, and see?
Yeah, it's between them and Rosso.
Yeah.
If they need a contact, we can get it for them.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I would leave that to you too.
If you would give him, I don't have his contact information, if you would give him mine. And
I think
we,
he, remember he came in your office, you should have his contact.
yeah, he came in my office, but I don't have his contact information.
Okay,
But that should be something easily resolved.
Yeah, right. They just need to notify the contractor to relocate their stuff if they want to get the area back. Do you have the schedule on when they plan
No,
on?
I just got a call today on it, so I don't.
Okay.
Any
Any other
additional questions? Hearing none, thank you for the presentation and the update.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Mayor, can I ask, I know the Centennial Committee is probably gonna take a little longer. Can we move, if it's okay with the commission, the LaWanda Thomas, FHC, and also Tough Cups? Can we just flip-flop those a little bit? I know Centennial Committee might take, Pastor Waller, would that be,
I'm fine, I'm here for the night.
okay, so if that be, it just, oh, I won't be walking out on you. If it's okay with the commission, if we just flip-flop those, you know, before the Centennial, because it's probably take a little longer than.
Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Mervin and properly second by Commissioner Gonzalez for the rearranging of the agenda to allow LaWanda Thomas daycare to move up and Tough Cut beneath that. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bowling?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Perez?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes, thank you. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to the next presentation would be our business of the month. We have two. The first one we will present will be LaWanda Thomas, LFHCC, City Manager. You can give us a little background on it before we move down. Yes, ma'am.
If I could say, since those are two business, something on the business, if it's okay with,
Huh?
can I say something on the businesses, these the two that I chose for the month?
If you can do that, we'll allow him to make the initial presentation. You can provide any information you would like at that time.
You want to present?
I'm going to present. I just thought you was going to give a little overview. Commissioner Mervin, at this time, you can
Mayor
state.
Bab, the business of the month I chose for Miss LaWanda Thomas. I tell you, I follow her business on Facebook, and I tell you, I'd never seen a daycare like this daycare before. Not only is it a daycare, I don't have little kids, but if I told her if I had kids, it would be no question. It would be in her daycare. She don't only provide a daycare service. If you only know these are little kids, she teach them life skills.
Yeah.
to where when they even get older, they be entrepreneurs. She have little kids where she teaching them to be nail salon, daycare. I mean, I never seen it before, and a daycare that they all matching at the same time.
It's true.
I never seen it in my life. Everywhere they go, they have on the same thing. And you have to be a dedicated, it has to be a gift. Because everyone cannot, that's not my gift. Because even when my grandkids come, I'm ready for them to go home. So I know that's not my gift to be. So in order to be this, Ms. Thomas, my hat's off to you and your daycare. I mean, I just can't say nothing else about it. It's just an awesome daycare service that you provide for these kids. And they will always remember you.
If the commission would join me as we present this certificate Mr. Thomas, as mayor of this great city of Pahokee, on behalf of the Pahokee City Commission, Commissioner Perez, Commissioner Irvin, Vice Mayor Boland, Commissioner Gonzalez, our city manager Greg Thompson, along with our entire city staff, it is indeed an honor to present you with this certificate of business of the month. And I echo every word that Commissioner Irvin stated. Not only that, I just want to mention almost every single activity in this community, especially those that the city sponsor or provide. Those kids encouraged here represent their daycare and represent this city almost every event. So we really, really appreciate that. You're definitely deserving of the business of the month.
Says business of the month. This certificate is awarded to LaWanda Thomas, LFHCC, Pahokee, Florida 33476, in recognition of an outstanding service to the community, presented this 25th day of January 2022. Mayor Keith W. Babb and the Commission, we thank you.
Mr. Thomas, we're going to allow you to say a few words if you so change to.
Don't cry. Go ahead and cry. Your sister, your big sister do it for you.
I know. I'm not a speaker. Tammy, come talk for me. No, I'm just playing. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just playing. Thank you so very much. And like, everybody say I put too much in it. A lot of people say I throw away money. But like Commissioner Murray said, that's my passion. The kids are our future. So try to teach them everything. Try to teach them everything. We're going to celebrate every holiday. We're going to do the parades, graduation, homecoming. We're going to do it all, as long as I got my health and strength and able to do so. And thank you. And I just want to say thank you all. Thanks.
And our next business of the month, again, I'll allow our City Commissioner Mervin to present. And then I'll say just a few words on top of that.
This business here, Mayor, is, I followed him here since I moved to Pahokee, been now 6 years ago, and plus we're neighbors. But I tell you, this young man here is also idol in our community. And I'm going to ask Val to come up, please. Kids goes to his, to his shop to get haircuts. And I remember when I first went to his shop, I didn't know anything about the, you pay more, you get a, PIP. So I was sitting in there one day and I said, Dad, what's going on? He said, they pay more. I said, no, that's not going to happen while I'm here. And we've been friends ever since. But I say that I went in his shop and know he's moved from the Main Street over, and he renovated. If you haven't been to his new shop, you have to step in there. I visited in the shop and I saw him doing some hair, and he gets people from all over. That day I went in there, they were from North Carolina and Georgia. And he showed me a map on the wall when they fly in. He has NFL players, he has everybody. But the technique that he does is not just cut hair. These hands is a gift. You know, and the stuff that he does, these people say they fly all over the country. We come to the best one. The stuff he does, how he pick. I mean, it was just, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. But so Val, I thank you for what you did to the community, beautifying that site. And when I see it, I said, Mayor, we gotta have a business of the month. And so it reads as business of the month. This certificate is awarded to Tough Cuts, Pahokee, Florida 33476, in recognition of outstanding service to the community. Presented this 25th day of January 2022, Mayor Keith W. Babb Jr. and the Commission. Val, thank you so much for the service.
Oh, appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Where's it located? You know it.
Okay.
Come on. Suck it in. Act like you like it.
On behalf of the Pahokee City Commission, I'd like to extend our congratulations. You do have a beautiful facility. I have one question though. Are you the guy that's on the commercial with the cuts? Because if he's not, he should be on one to talk about this person who was really famous and do a lot of celebrity pairs and whatever. But you are the mirror image of that. And we thank you for all your service and commitment to us.
I appreciate it. I love you. I'm born and raised here in Pahokee, so, I'm glad to still be here. I appreciate the acknowledgement.
We let you get
Well, I'm just grateful and thankful for the acknowledgement, and I'm proud to be a Pahokee resident, born and raised here. So I'm gonna be here, and hopefully we can continue to provide other jobs and let our community grow. Become part of a family. So I'm grateful and thankful for the acknowledgement, and I appreciate everybody that took me in consideration. I'm proud, and hopefully we keep on moving on up.
Oh, the address?
766 Larimore Road, Pahokee, Florida. Thank you. Thank you, y'all. Appreciate it. Good night.
Again, congratulations to both of our Business of the Month. Those some outstanding business both. Now we'll move to the Centennial Committee report. Pastor Wallace, which is the chair.
All right. Again, I'm Patricia Wallace, 1381 East Main Street, and chair for the Centennial celebration, and we are excited about the work that's going on with the Centennial Committee. They are working hard. We are trying to make sure that this event is one that we'll never forget, but there's a lot of work to be done. And I need to correct, the date for the parade is the 4th. The 5th is the Unity Breakfast at United Methodist Church for the seniors. So it is the 4th. The parade committee is confirmed that date.
So the parade is
and it's on
Friday
our
and
application already.
It's Friday.
It's on the application and the flyer. It's March 4th. And that's been sent out on your webpage and to the different people, with the disclosure that Vice Mayor Boland sent that needed to be attached. So we did attach that disclosure for responsibility, and it's gone out. The dates, we have several dates of events. One I need to confirm with you, Commissioner, is that of the car show.
Right.
The show and shine.
The show and
It
shine.
is going to be on the 26th instead of the 20th.
Yeah, Colin, he didn't even show up. Colin Walks and I, we have it for the weekend because a lot of people who own the bikes and cars who do this, they have professions to work on Monday. They rather just do it on the weekends because some of them go to church, spend time with the family, go home early, go back to work Monday.
So the 26th,
The
they're gonna do it on the
26th.
same day as the centennial. So we do need to go get a space and preferably at the end of the vendor so that the people are past the vendors in the other event to get to the car
Right.
display. So if it's a big area, I think at the end, used to be a big parking
Yeah,
area.
yeah, talking about on the north side of it. On the north
Uh-huh.
end.
If they can park there, but we need to, if we can do a walkthrough to see
Yes.
how we're gonna lay out for us the vendors, where the cars will be and the bikes will be, we need to do that right away.
Yeah, we're
whenever
trying to
we have
schedule,
time.
we're trying to schedule a day where, Collins and I can, meet these other two guys from car shows and do a walkthrough.
Yes.
Because on the north end, that park has borders, you can't go into the field, onto the grass. So we gotta figure something like we spoke to, last week, can't put them on the hill.
No.
Because some of the cars don't have brakes.
Liability, yes.
Liability, correct.
Okay, if we can get them down that end, I think that would be a good space, and then that way, the vendors would get, some traffic as we go down. We have a lineup of events that's
Ms.
coming
Wallace.
up.
Ms. Wallace, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do we have access to the other side of the north end?
We'll have to take a look, but
Because I know, remember we had a boat show? We were on the other side of that railing.
Of the rail.
Right.
we can
Okay.
get.
Now, well, I'm thinking about when you turn right, if you go down right all the way to the end, it used to be a big parking area there.
That's correct, but I'm saying, on that end you're talking about, there's some railing there that.
Stop you from driving through.
Right, so, I mean, we were, I don't know what year it was, we had a boat show, and we were on the other side of it, and people were
coming
on
up.
that side.
Okay. Then I guess we have to give it the core.
Yeah.
It's a parking area down there at the end where I'm talking. Yeah, he's
We
talking
just have
about the guardrail,
to-
but I'm talking about the big parking lot at the end.
Right,
Would be a
but we
better
have to,
place.
we have to be sure that we don't block where the fire engines get in.
Right.
In case of emergency, and also the stage, because we need electricity for the stage, so we'll have to really
Yeah, we have to get
lay
power
everything
source
out,
there.
do a, like a site plan
Right.
for it,
Okay.
so that we don't overlap each other.
So we really need to do that walkthrough as soon as we can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me know so we can get that done.
Yes,
So, we're still waiting that, the 30th is the end for the students to submit their T-shirts for the T-shirt contest with the logo. The Centennial Gala is February the 12th. We only have a couple of weeks before that big event, but a whole lot to do. And the problem we're running in there, as you know, is we're getting POs approved at the right time. Based on the amount of the money for the different events, they have to get 2 or 3 estimates, which they've done that, submitted, but I understand that that person has been out this week ill or something. So, but we need to get it approved as quick as possible. I don't know what else can be done, what other process we can go through to make sure to secure our vendors, but some of them might need deposits to assure, or whatever. One event has already occurred. We owe that vendor, so you have an invoice for that and quotes for the others, and we submit them like you asked us to, Mr. Pinckney. So as soon as we can get something moving on that, we would appreciate it, so we can make sure that everybody's really locked in.
There's been some issues with stamps because the committee wants to get the mailings out, and I'm just going to go tomorrow and buy the stamps, and we'll get it done and get them out.
Okay, we thought we were going to run it through the machine because we bought some. We already donated some for the first set, but we giving them return envelopes, and that's why
But
the second
the
set.
reason why I want to go buy the stamps is so we can have all this budgeted for it, and it's because the machine isn't, it just goes into the general. So just to keep it all budgeted, but I'm just going to go buy the stamps, and we'll get them out.
I think she's scheduled to pick them up Thursday because
She's going
tomorrow's
to
a
come in,
bad
and we're
day.
going to stamp them, and
Okay, but are we still meeting tomorrow at 1?
a little later. I'll talk to you after.
Okay, okay.
And maybe an idea, we can meet at the marina, we can walk it down, and
Okay, that'll work. All right, the Centennial Parade is corrected. It is March the 4th. And the recommendation that you travel the same route that you did for the Christmas parade. And the lineup will begin at 4, I think, and the parade at 5. Is that correct? The parade starts at 5, but the lineup begins at 4. And I think someone should have sent all that to law enforcement. But I'll make sure that y'all get it so you'll have everything that you need for that day. The Unity Breakfast is that Saturday morning, 8:30 to 10 at United Methodist Church, and we're inviting all of our senior citizens, especially 85 and older, and if family members need to bring them, they are welcome to come. We're going to really celebrate them a lot. On March the 12th, we're doing a taste of the city, so we're still reaching out to different cultures within our community to just do round tables of food, and it'd just be a tasting thing. So if you know somebody that really cooks well, even if it's some vendors that want to put some of their things out that they want to sell in the city, let us know so we can kind of push that a little harder.
I'm sorry, what day did you say that was?
That's the 12th.
12th. Same day as the gala?
No, the gala is February 12th.
February 12th, okay, I'm with you.
You got
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
March 12th, yes. Now, the antique car and bag show has been moved to the day of celebration, so that day is going to be full. We'll be getting at 8 to 8 because the Rotary is going to sponsor the fishing tournament, and that starts at 8 to 11. I don't know what time the antique car show will be ready to start, but we need to put a time when they will get there.
Show and shine. Show and shine.
Show and shine. I know.
Yeah,
I know. We won't change the language, but
Right.
what time will it start?
I'm telling everybody to come by 6 a.m. because guys are into
By
the
the time
cars.
they get
The
lined
car
up.
shows in Miami, we're out there by 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine with us. But you know, I don't think people will be there at 6 a.m. But they want to get their stuff set up, so that's great. And then we'll be there. I'll be there before 8, but we'll be out, and we're inviting everybody from 8 to 8 to celebrate. And we want to really push this in our community. Tell your family, your friends, I don't care where they live, come home. This is like a family reunion, and we need to set the bar high because Pahokee this time, Belgrade gonna come behind us, South Bay gonna come behind us. Our biggest event is the gala. So to make that beautiful, there's a lot of work got to be done, and we need all our volunteers to be there.
And a lot of tickets to be sold.
A lot of tickets, so I don't know, but we're asking that each commissioner buy at least 2 tickets.
Just
Because
2?
most of y'all got significant others or somebody to bring. And all the team members are asked to buy at least 1 ticket. Those that are volunteering on the committee would definitely be doing one. But we have not heard but from one sponsor that I've heard from that sent a letter back, and I don't know whether they sent the check to the city or not. But I'll send you that name. They did send in an application to me today.
As of now, I haven't received any checks, but also, could you guys make sure that I get all the flyers for the event so I can make sure it's on the website and I can send it out?
If you don't have them all, I'll make sure that they to you by tomorrow.
I
I'll
know
contact them
it's-
tonight, and our meeting is Thursday, so I'll definitely make sure you have everything you need.
Okay.
Yeah, my flyers will be on probably by Thursday. Because I'm trying to get some more
Please.
information, yes.
Double check the dates and time that we put on them.
Right.
And the location, and if there's any disclosure for responsibility that the city requires, make sure it goes on the bottom of your flyer.
Question, I don't hear anybody talking about kid activities except for the fishing tournament.
We doing the fish at that date?
Right, no bounce
Now, what about the
houses,
steel,
anything?
the steel band? Did you get, was that a yay or nay, or do we keep the DJ?
He's supposed to get back in touch with me tomorrow.
We got to have it by this week.
Right.
But if at his price, you're gonna have 3 quotes,
Right, so
according to,
3 quotes from him or 3 quotes from
Three
three
different
different
quotes.
vendors.
from different people?
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I don't know any other steel band around here.
You can just
It
get.
don't have
you
to
can
be a
just get
steel
3
band, but it
three
has to be
vocals.
3 different performances doing similar things.
Right, because
Yeah.
his price ranges from $500 to $2,500. I think that's what I told you.
Yeah, but we need
There's
to
a
know
price
exactly
range.
what he's gonna do. Is he gonna be Pacific? If he's gonna do sound,
He's supposed to do everything for the
everything,
$2,500.
we need to know what everything is compared to what we have. We got 1 DJ
Well, he's supposed to
price,
give,
but
he's supposed to be detailed already. He's working on that right now.
And everybody needs to keep in mind,
the money,
if just because you turn it in, don't mean it's going to be approved.
yes.
Oh,
You know,
also,
we have a-
also, I'm not depending on that money from that 10 grand. I'm trying to find sponsors to specifically sponsor that. That way there's money
But
for everything else.
That means if you have a sponsor specifically for that, we need to know at the time that they are being submitted. So we won't
Right.
be trying to budget that within the monies that, all we know we have right now is 10 grand.
Right.
And that's more than spent if we do everything the committee had asked to do just for the gala. We have not bought any shirts. We have not given any prizes out to any of the seniors, to the students, and there is no money. We need more than 10 grand to make this a celebration.
Right.
I mean, this is not a little party. This is a centennial celebration. So what can the commissioner do to make sure that there's extra money for this celebration, the entire celebration, not just the gala, but for the kids doing the fishing tournament, if they're winners, what kind of prizes we going to give them? For those
The
with
Rotary
t-shirts,
usually
we gonna give
surprises prizes for the fishing tournament.
Who?
The Rotary,
They're going to give the prizes for the fishing
Yeah,
tournament?
that's what they usually do.
That we won't
Yeah.
have to worry about. But
Yeah.
we still have the t-shirt contest for the logo to give prizes. We want to give something to the seniors that are 100 years or older. It was something else. Then you still got the decoration in
Do you
it.
know more or less how much money is going to the gala itself?
Well, we'll have a meeting Thursday night to see what exactly we're going to approve. What they asking right now, we've already done over 10 grand.
Yeah,
Just
Do
the
we-
food, the food,
Just for the gala?
entertainment, the decoration alone will kill 10 grand,
Just for the gala?
just for the gala.
So far, it's about 11.
do we have a
11.5.
budget? I mean, do we have a written budget for that?
The
Or
budget
for
has
each-
to be redone based on what the final decision for this committee and the way the
Sponsorship.
the quotes had to come in.
I know the ball hasn't been dropped, but I can't emphasize more on the fundraising, the letters. I'm gonna,
Okay, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
tell you
do-
about that. Okay, one second, let me.
I'm gonna do everything I can to reach out to some of the major sponsors.
That's what we need to know, who have given, if you could tell us who you've done, then we've already got a list, we've done over, I know that committee has worked the hardest, and they've sent out over 25 or 30 emails and letters to different sponsors. We're just waiting for the response. They have already done, besides the mail out, these are emails that have went out with the sponsorship letter. They have done a
And I
marvelous
think
job.
there's probably around 80 mail outs to do.
80
Significant.
besides the 30 or
Besides.
so, 40 that they have done. Luis Torres, David Ruiz, they have done a marvelous job of contact and advertising. So the letter's going to.
I met with one major group today. Me and Ms. Warner is meeting with another tomorrow. And I plan on going to the coast next week and meeting with another.
But you know, we ain't got, what, 14 good days before the gala. So I need to know.
But when I'm asking significant money from these people, I want a face-to-face. I just don't want to send an email or a letter.
That's fine.
That's the way to
That's
do
it.
it.
Just be praying that you allow it to happen for
And
you.
carry a stick with me.
Okay.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Maybe it may be a lot, but anyway. This is 100 years centennial for Pahokee. All that is good, go out and get sponsors, but this is our city. This is our 100-year centennial. Even if you get sponsorship, that should be just something extra. I think right now, I've been on the calls for the meetings with the centennial. It looks to me as in the city is just helping out the centennial, or like they're taking this, like this is their event. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. For this to be a centennial for the city of Pahokee, the city of Pahokee should be the forerunner of this event. There's no way right now we should be still asking for donations to take care of a centennial. We asking someone else to come in and sponsor our event.
Yes.
I think right now the city should have this money should already been up front, already been out there. If anything comes up, that's just extra to pay a little extra knickknacks what need to tighten up the thing. But there's no way right now we should still at this point, February the 12th is right around the corner, that we still asking for donations right now. So I'm asking this city, this commission, this city, come up with the money. We got the money, put the money up front. Pastor Wiley, what does it cost to run this centennial? put the 50,000 up, whatever it is. And anything that comes after that, let that just be an extra to tighten up wherever. But now trying to go meet this person and meet this person, hoping that they give money for this intent. No, we asking for someone else to come to help us make our own party.
And it's got to be more
I don't
than
think that's right.
That's traditional what every city does. Moorhaven had 100, Okeechobee had 100, and they did fundraising.
It may be, but Mr. Thompson, we're right now on February the 12th of the thing. We have January the 25th now. As from what I'm listening to, we have no sponsors. We have some hopes. We sending letters out hoping.
Yeah.
But hoping don't pay the bills. Hoping you can't tell these caterers.
Fundraising does.
You can't tell these people now. I'm listening to the prices of some of the, and you want it to be good. Right now, this city should be decorated. It should be flags on the poles that the city itself should have done this. It should be banners across the street. 100 years. Yeah. The city right now, and believe it or not, you might not want to hear this. Prior to the staff that left, there was plans already for banners with one of the sponsors to have on poles and stuff. So, but what I'm saying is, this is ours. Let us take the bull by the horn and let us make it happen. Not going out just have to always, let's make it happen. Pull the money. Sit down, Mr. City Manager. Here is Centennial Committee. Here's $50,000. Let's do it. We still waiting on right now to pay from the Martin Luther King DJ. That right now, that was what, January the 7th. Come on, let's make it happen.
Do you know why we're still waiting?
That's not the point, Mr. Thompson. Just let's make it.
There's always a point to everything.
Listen what I'm saying, Mr. Thompson.
The point is that wasn't done correctly, that it had to
Yes, it was, but we'll get to that later. Leave that alone right now.
Ma'am, when you procure something like that, you have to have comparables. You just can't hire your family members and pay them to do city work. It don't work that way.
I don't know who your family, because it's not my family member, but let's leave it.
Let me fix this.
You have to have comparables.
You said family members.
That's the way we do things.
Wait a minute, let me straighten it. I don't pay
That's the
people.
law.
You and I talk, Mr. Thompson.
Let me
So when you don't do it, you have to do it correctly. And unfortunately, those are some hurdles that the committee is finding out, that the law governs how we spend our money.
I'm asking for, please, let's make it happen for the Centennial.
It's up to the commission.
Let me say this so it won't be misunderstood. The DJ was Mr. Brian Crawford. Brian Crawford is my nephew. Mr. Brian Crawford did it at a discount to the city because he lived here. And we didn't have nobody else to do it. He secured 4 dates for us because when the committee for the banquet went out, Marlon Boone couldn't come. At that night, we had nobody. When I called him, he said, I'll do it, and he gave a discount. Now, I don't pay him, so I didn't hire him. I brought his proposal back. Then when we got all the proposals, then we were told, no, you got to submit 3. Then they said, send all the bills. Then they said, separate the bills. We went back 2 times. We separated them to separate events, making the first one an invoice and the other 3 a quote. Now, the next committee go back and say, we changed. We want to use this other group, which is much more, which is nearly 3 times more than what Mr. Crawford was going to give us a discount. But this is my stance. He's my nephew, but for you to say you can't go hire your family and pay them, that was not that kind of a deal, and I don't appreciate that statement.
No, ma'am, that's the reasoning. That's the reasoning the law makes us have comparables.
Wait a minute. I want you to understand when you make that statement, it spoke directly to me. Because I am the chair of the Centennial Committee, but the information was approved by the committee. I don't approve it. Whoever, they bring their names in, they turn them in, we meet, we decide which do you prefer. So they were told to pick their preference.
Ms. Wallace,
I don't want him making derogatory statements
if I may
that make the public think that I hired a family member to do something. He been DJing for years.
Yeah.
He bring the lights and all of that. But don't
not only
my
that,
family, my faith and my funds are off limits.
The Ethics Committee have also concluded that even if it's a family member, if that's the only person locally within your community that provide a specific service, that you can actually hire them without violating any type of law.
My comment was explaining the reason you have to get the other comparables.
But I just don't want, nobody to walk out of here with the wrong impression, because I got it immediately. I felt like it was personal. If it wasn't, then I apologize for it not being personal.
No need
but
to apologize.
But it felt personal because he is my nephew, he is my family. I am related to the Crawfords. That's my family, and I love my family. I'm related to Commissioner Mayor Babb. That's my family, I love my family. Family, funds, and faith, y'all can talk about anything y'all want. I would never attack your family, I would never attack your faith, and I won't mess with your funds, but don't do it to me.
Okay, so my question is, they're asking for $50,000. When we did the budget, we budgeted $10,000. Where are we supposed to just pull $40,000 out of our budget?
Let me ask this. Have you ever did events before?
Have I ever done this before?
Right, to get funds. I don't know how you guys
This
done
is
them.
seed money.
What you mean get funds? Have
Like-
I ever
like
done
to help out-
fundraisers before?
I'm talking about events, because.
Oh, I've done many
Because the way
events.
we used to do them, we'll go like to Ford, say for example, the Ford dealership, we'll sell them a spot, rent them a spot as a sponsorship. They come out here and they advertise what they want, bring in
We
a car or two.
understand
Because I don't hear that. I just hear this ask for money.
Well, see, part of the sponsorship, and Mr. Thompson brought that in, he said, I am going to the big donors. And we're waiting on him to go to the big donors. We said we did not want to duplicate asking.
Correct.
We've sent to all the businesses in whatever way they want to present themselves here. But we're saying this is our celebration, whether they come to us or not. We still need to be able to celebrate.
But
This
have we
city should
sold
be
any
having
tickets for
flyers
the
like
gala?
Mayor Babb now, it may not cost $50,000. The budget, you wouldn't get the money till you
Yeah,
draw
but
it.
we don't have
With
any budget in
invoice.
front of us, so how do we know what anything costs? I mean,
Because we're having to go back now, after this conversation came up, to get 3 quotes on everything.
right,
So
but
when
that's what I'm
a
saying. You
commission-
should have come tonight with a budget for each event and say,
They
this is
have been
what these
submitted to
events are
Mr.
going to
Pinckney.
cost.
Mr.
and-
Pinckney has it. We were told to
Doesn't do any
submit
good
it
for
to
Mr.
Mr.
Pinckney to have it,
Pinckney.
you're asking us.
Because you're the commissioner who oh, God. Okay.
Pastor.
We were told by
Pastor.
the city manager
If-
to
if-
submit it
If I
through
can,
the.
if I can clarify,
through the- to the
I'll
park.
clarify.
Please, because
I asked the committee to submit all of their invoices and stuff through Mr. Pinckney because he's accustomed to the process when members of the committee isn't how the city works. So they're using him as a conduit so he can make sure they're correct as they come in.
Right, but still, she's here asking for $50,000,
That was a
and we don't
Well,
have anything in
no, I
front of
haven't
us to
asked for
say,
no specific
this is
amount."
what it's for, this is how it's going to be spent, here's your $10,000 that we told you that you had, and this is how we're planning on spending this. If you do the gala and it's $10,000 to do the gala, and you haven't sold any tickets, then what? Now we're out of money, and where are we supposed to get more money?
You're still sponsoring the gala, but the gala tickets is $100. I'm still waiting on y'all to buy tickets too.
I just want to
Y'all
be,
understand that this is not the citizens.
Yeah.
This is not our total
Exactly.
event.
Thank you.
This belongs to the
the
city
city.
of Pahokee.
It's the city
We are the
event.
citizens that you asked to represent each one of you as what? As representatives on the Centennial Committee. Each one of you assigned 2 or 3 of us to represent you on the Centennial Committee because the citizens could do a better job, right? Because y'all got your hands full with legislation and everything. We are your conduits. And now you give us a job and you want us to beg other folk to do the work for the city. That's what it sounds like. We might be poor, but we ain't pitiful.
Begging is
We-
not,
This city
fundraising is not
that poor.
begging.
Commissioner Vice Mayor Bolin was asking where the money is coming from.
Yes.
One of my suggestions even happened at the last commission meeting. I think we can get this money from the American Rescue Plan.
Oh, no.
If you do it correctly, they have consultants that would find ways that it would fit within whatever parameter this IKE
Celebration.
have put out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can give businesses money, you can give residents money. There's
We need to
lot
have a
of ways you can
workshop
use
on
this
that money and see what's the highest and best use for that,
Mr.
rather than
Thompson.
just doling it out a little here and a little there. We need
No,
to
but this-
actually
but-
do
but-
some business and
But
sit
Vice
down
Mayor,
and
what I'm
figure out
saying,
what that needs to be.
this is our event. This is a city of Pahokee
Right,
event.
and we budgeted, when it
we'll-
was budget time, why
Okay,
didn't anybody say $10,000 is not enough? No, we sat there through budget, and everybody okayed $10,000, and now here we are at the
That's before we had a
time.
committee who was
Committee wasn't
able
even
to.
informed at the
No, it
budget.
wasn't.
First of all, this is not an argument. I ain't arguing about volunteering to be a blessing in my city. This is about supplying needs to celebrate our 100 years.
No, this is
How
not,
about-
this is
wait a
about
minute,
not working
this
within
is-
your budget.
The budget wasn't, we wasn't there at the budget committee, and we don't know whether y'all put this in the budget or not. We know that y'all asked us to be the committee. We know that we had, less than 3 months to get this together, and we meet every week to get this together. These people that busting their tails to get this for the city. And now you acting as though this is the people's responsibility to pay for us to celebrate. No. This belongs to each one of you. This belongs to each one of these citizens that we have this celebration. Now, where is a place that you can get money to do events in your city? Where is it? It's got to be some resources somewhere.
It's not in our budget, is it?
The budget was originally 5,000, and I doubled it.
Yeah.
I have something to say.
We're hoping that we sell the 200, they have allowed for a space with the CDC, 200 seats. And we're trying to sell those tickets.
And Mr. Chair.
Tonight, if you guys would pay for y'all tickets,
Mr. Chair,
that'll
what I-
help me along way.
What I would suggest, Mr. Chair.
But here's the thing, if you're selling 200 tickets at $100 a piece, you're making $20,000,
Yes.
correct? Okay, but you spent 10 to make 20, and you still end up with the same 10 you had.
You ain't got the 20 yet. You got the, listen, this is not to
It doesn't make
money.
sense. The numbers
This
don't
is-
make sense, right?
Then you don't understand celebrations. Wait a minute. Celebrations is not to make money. This is about celebrating the milestone of being 100 years old.
Pastor Wallace.
When you get
Wait.
ready to have
Yes,
celebrate your
But how do you
birthday.
pay for the next
Wait,
event?
wait,
say, 'cause
Pastor
this
Wallace,
sounds like the
you
government,
are, Pastor Wallace,
okay?
you are a citizen.
I'm a
You
citizen.
should not be up here.
Hold on. Miss Wallace, Miss
Pastor,
Wallace.
wait a minute.
One at a time. One
I
at a
had
time,
to
please.
fix this.
All I'm saying,
Y'all better fix this.
Pastor Wallace. Wait a minute, Pastor
Why
Wallace.
haven't we started
I wonder why.
preparing for this?
It was, y'all
You
fired
know
the people
what?
that did plan it.
$100,000
It was
is not
planned.
enough to do
Pastor
a
Wallace.
100-year celebration like it needs
It's,
to be
it's not,
done.
you're
That's
Like
right.
it should have
You're
been done.
right.
$100,000 will probably not even
You're
cover
right.
it.
I agree.
So to do this in 3 months,
I agree.
that is totally,
Pastor Wallace.
totally
Pastor Wallace,
ludicrous.
you are a
Yes.
citizen.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
should not be up here arguing with the
Believe
the
me, I'm
city
not.
to do a city event. You should not have to do that. You should not have to do that.
And
There were economic development directors that did have plans on this. There was plans made. But now, since no one is there, those plans have been gone to the side. We don't know where they're at. So let me finish. Let me finish.
You could sit here and plan all year.
Wait a minute.
Let me finish.
Hold up.
To execute the plan, you don't have nothing.
Let me
Wait
finish.
a minute. Y'all arguing about the wrong thing. Either y'all gonna support it or not.
Leave it.
Either y'all gonna support this city, celebrate 100 years or not.
Mr.
Our committee has been working since y'all elected us.
I'm volunteering.
We've been volunteering. If y'all want us to continue to celebrate this city 100 years,
Leave it alone.
then we will do that. If y'all don't think it's worth celebrating, then we can't do it in the name of the city.
No, my concern is, we're gonna spend the whole 10,000 on the gala. How many people How many people are going to be seated?
Listen, the gala is the only major fundraiser we have, and that's going to help put money to do the prizes. It's about giving back to the people.
I understand that, but what I'm
It's
saying
like
is, how I understand what I'm saying is, how do we know it's exactly $10,000?
We don't know exactly what it is because we still getting quotes. You know that. I'm waiting on you. The person that you brought to us is running from 5 to 25.
You only ended up with 10.
$100, and the one I had for the event was a flat $600.
That's right. He's a part of Gala.
Like Mr. Thompson say, we're not guaranteed because you want the higher thing
so
you
you're
can
only
get.
still ending up with the
We have
original
to
10.
slimline it based
When
on
it's all
what
said and done,
money
at the
we
bottom
actually
line,
have.
you still only got
So they may
$10,000.
want steel
You had 10
drums,
to
but
begin
if we
with.
can't afford to
You
give
could do
you
nothing
steel
and
drums,
end up
Right,
with
but
the
that's-
same
back to
money.
now looking for a DJ.
Right, but I'm saying, that's besides
Now,
that.
understand,
I'm referring to the
have
Gala.
fundraisers.
One conversation, please.
I was just referring to the Gala itself.
Let the city take care of the centennial. Let the city get their staff. Let the city get their committee. Let the city do it. You shouldn't have to stress yourself out. I've been on the calls, Father. Those, as they say, people work. Those people that's on that committee, they work. They have 9 to 5 jobs. So let the city, you guys are taking on something that the city should be spearheading. Let the city do it. If they do it, fine. If they don't, Pastor Wallace, leave it alone. You should not have to be up here week after week begging to do something for the city of Pahokee.
Let
You
me
should not have to do that, Pastor
let me
Wallace.
put this on the
Leave
floor
it alone.
then.
It's sad. It's pitiful.
The thing about it, Ms. Boland
Leave it
has
alone.
been to the meetings.
She's on the committee,
Commissioner
if I'm not
Gonzalez
mistaken, is
have
she
been
not?
to the meetings. Y'all heard the work they done. Y'all had your input on the work. Y'all know this is going on.
Right, but that's what I'm
And if you
asking.
had any doubt, you should have said it to the people on that line the nights that you were on.
But that's what I'm saying. At the meetings, you didn't mention it was going to be 10,000 just for the Gala. I'm
Right.
just
We
finding
didn't
this
know
out
what
just
it
now.
was gonna
No.
be.
That's
We
what I'm
had to
saying.
get
I
the
just
quotes
heard
in
about
that
it
y'all
first time.
asked for.
Because we've never seen a budget.
Even
That's
at that, say the gala costs 10,000. If you sell 200 tickets,
That's
you make
20,000. It's gonna pay
20,000.
for itself.
So basically,
Correct.
and plus you got a surplus of another 10,000.
That's
so
right.
it's
No.
paying for. Yep.
But
Who
you
would
can't
agree?
spend money you
Who would
don't
agree
have.
with that would break even? If you
Can you
make
spend money you don't
20,000,
have?
you spend 10,000. Thank you, but
You make
Vice
10,
Mayor
the same
Boland
10 you
saying
had
you
to
breaking
begin with.
even. I don't know how she come up with
You
that.
end up with the same 10 you had to begin
No,
with.
you got. But
How
you're
you
gonna
break
have
even?
Break even.
No, you're gonna have a 10,000 profit because you're gonna have the whole gala that's been sponsored in the name of the city. That's gonna recognize your
Thank you,
citizens,
Tammy.
gonna recognize the government officials that we invited to be there, the county governments that's been invited to be there. So it's up to y'all.
Pastor Wallace, leave it alone.
And I'm done.
Just me personally, if we can spend 10 and get 10 back, and we still have a good celebration, have a good time, and have it part of the celebration, me personally, I'm good with it. And I would suggest
I
that,
guarantee your staff is listening to this meeting, and I guarantee if you ask them, they're done.
Mr. Chair, I would suggest outside of the budget, the city purchase at least the table for the commission.
Okay.
We don't have to take action on it. I can do that, but I just wanted to run it by the commission first.
Okay. I would move also that the city put aside $50,000 to move this gala forward the way it needs to be moved forward. We have 1.5 million in American Rescue Plan Act. I guarantee you, we shouldn't, if we took 50,000 from that plan, it would be a small dent in it. And it will give us the opportunity to celebrate this city the way it should. What we're doing and what's being projected out on Facebook is that our committee, our volunteer committee, is begging the city for the resources to move this gala forward, and we shouldn't have to do that. 50,000 does seem like a lot of money, but we have a plan that we can pull from. That part of it is to enhance the community, bring unity to the community, celebrate the community, it's giving back. It's giving us that one-time opportunity, and we're not going to live 100 years. So we won't be here for the next 100-year celebration. None of us, or probably none of our children. So let's do it right. If we're not able to do it, then we need to tell this group that, you know, you're wasting your time. We're not going to go any further than what we're putting out there.
Well, I want to assure the hard work that the committee's put in, you haven't wasted your time. We're thankful you've committed to this, put time in it, and the procurement process does have hurdles because it's, you know, it's a city. And if the commission wishes, I will look into that and see if there's any way possible we can use those funds towards this.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Go ahead, put it to motion.
And then it may not take that money, and if we sell all of the 200 tickets with the commissioner's help, we got $20,000 that come back.
Yeah.
And save it.
Until you make it.
We'll talk tomorrow about the table.
We'll talk about it.
I would like to put that in a form of motion that we allow our city manager to look into the American Rescue Plan Act to see if we can pull the necessary $50,000 to help us celebrate our centennial. And I'm asking for a vote on that for support of him doing it.
Second it.
It has been moved by the mayor and properly seconded by Commissioner Gonzalez that we authorize our city manager to look into the American Rescue Plan to see if we're able to pull the $50,000 from that to celebrate our centennial. Call for questions.
I have one. If we pull it from the American Rescue Act and it isn't covered, then we're going to have to pay it back. Is that correct?
That would be correct, but before
I'm
we
asking the city manager, sir.
We'll look into it first. We won't move forward if it's not lawful, but at least give me the chance to look into it and see if it's a possibility.
That's what looking into it is.
Wouldn't it be better if we just look someplace else in the budget, cut something else out of the budget, and use money that we know we can use without having any issues at all?
We got one.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the motion is to only look into the American Rescue. I think that the American Rescue, my personal opinion is that we need to not nickel and dime that down to nothing. We need to actually sit down and figure out what we should do with that money. So I'm asking if my thought is that instead of looking into the American Rescue, which we have in a separate account and we have it all safe and nice and neat, let's look into our budget someplace and see if there's not some fat someplace we can cut to get some money for this if we're going to do this.
Well, that would be up to the wishes of the commission, but I could go either way, but I could exhaust this. And if it don't work out, we always have that option.
But then we don't have time to come back.
The amendment to that motion would be if you find you're not able to use the money from the American Rescue Plan, then you look for an alternative funding. That is more simple.
And then are we, my question would be, are we looking for the full 50 that we've already given 10, so now we're looking for 40? Is that what we're looking for? But what if we only find 20 that we can find?
Out of 1.5 million?
No, I'm not talking about out of the 1.5 million. I'm talking about out of the fat of the budget.
We're meeting again in
we got
2 weeks, but it's pressed.
In 2 weeks, the gala is here.
Everything needs to be approved. We really was trying to get everything approved this month.
Like yesterday.
This month.
So that's why I'm saying.
With us, we're short staffed in your office, and then the volunteers work every day. We don't
Right.
have time to be.
But if we go and we only say we're looking in the ARPA money, and then the ARPA money we can't use,
I
then
would suggest, because it's premature, I think, to move on the whole 50 outside of looking into the ARPA. What I would suggest is if we exhaust our efforts with ARPA, if it works out, it works out. If it don't, to go ahead tonight and to move on adding an additional 10 to the budget, which will make it 20, which will get us through the gala and be able to have the committee to start planning some other events down the future before we meet, and then we can make a final decision in the next 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
It gives the commission some flexibility. I get to look into ARPA. If that works out, it's done. If
And
not,
do we have 10 in our budget to do that?
I'll make it happen.
The question is, do this city really want to have a celebration?
Yes, ma'am, but we're trying to figure out how to pay for that celebration because we thought we were going to do fundraising.
I mean, fundraisers work when you have people that will support this fundraiser. And you all are part of the fundraising process.
Exactly.
It is
How
not
many
just
tickets
the
y'all sold?
citizens. And I'm just trying to let you understand, it ain't us, it ain't about us, it's about the citizens of Pahokee. But I'm not going to, what I'm not going to do is work people to death and then have them beg. We can't beg for what we need and give away what don't belong to us.
Fundraising is not begging.
We do it. But this city want to do, I've seen you do what you want to do. this
And that's
is
why we're in the
something
shape we're in.
you want to do, but just to promote this city. And there's so much hesitation, you can tell. You can tell if you don't want, if it's money that you can't touch, that's one thing. But the motion ain't even passed.
Okay,
So-
in addition, okay, go ahead.
Would you like to withdraw the motion and change it to fit the?
Need to amend it so that we don't have to come back and have a special
Well,
meeting.
You could amend it or just withdraw the motion and
Restate your position where you was going.
to direct myself to look into the ARPA funds, see if we can mitigate some of that to use it towards this, and if not, between here and the gala, if it doesn't work out, to add an additional 10,000 to the budget, which would be a total of 20.
Be a total of 30 if you add.
No.
20.
Be 20. 10 and 10.
Another 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Make 20.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's if
And that's
the-
just if we can't get the money out of the
From the-
ARPA.
right.
So you're asking 50 from the ARPA.
No, 40. We already
40, okay,
allocated 10.
40 from the ARPA, and if we cannot somehow work that out lawfully, because there are some restrictions, is to go ahead and allow myself to add 10,000 to the budget, which would double it again, at the direction of the
We
commission.
can work with that.
So this will eliminate the committee then, the sponsor committee and other committees?
Huh?
This will eliminate the sponsor committee, take the pressure off of them?
Absolutely not.
No,
No,
no.
no.
That's just, no.
No, we
We
still
definitely
asking
did.
for the sponsors to sponsor us. These are the people what we do business with.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure that's who you're talking to.
Yes, ma'am.
Who do we buy our cars for? Who do we buy most of your products from? Those are the ones that you need to be asking to sponsor us. We're asking each commissioner to donate something. I know the city's buying one table, but then we got some older members in the community that's 100 years old, then maybe we can give them a seat. Right now, we can't give nobody a cripple crab or crutch because we don't have anything.
Say that again?
Cripple crab or crutch.
I'm going to steal that from you.
So, but and I want us to be serious because time is gone.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Go ahead,
you talk about, it has to take a whole week to get it decorated, but all the stuff has to be ordered. And you don't use certain vendors. Those are the things we're running into. Y'all don't use Party City local vendors.
Yeah.
You got to order from this place or that place because of rules you got. And then you got a 3 or 4 step process just to get $50.
And I hope the public understands the hurdle staff goes through when we put on these events too. We go through the same, ordeal. And it's a learning process for y'all because you never did it before. And any way we can help through that, if you have any issues, let me know.
So at this time, I'll amend my motion to state that we are directing the city manager to look into ARPA to see if we're able to pull the additional 40,000. If not, the city will find the funding for additional 10,000 to increase our city commitment at this time to 20,000.
Is there any way to expedite paying the vendors? Because that's a real big one.
Ms. Glennie comes back tomorrow and we'll start right on it.
Thank you.
before I meet with you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor.
You,
Any
No.
additional questions?
Don't you need a second for the
I
amendment?
need the second for the amendment.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay.
Commissioner Gonzalez is seconded. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bowling?
Yes.
Commissioner Mervin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perez?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioner. The motion passed by unanimous vote. Okay. Next is the report of the city manager.
Yes, sir. Want to wish everybody, this is National Florida Day. If you don't know, Florida was the 27th state in the U.S. We became a state officially in 1845. So just along with the city, as a state, we're pretty old too. After our last meeting, the commission went to Tallahassee, support our lobbyist that's already been working on our ask up there. We had a full schedule. On the 12th, we had meetings with Representative Skidmore and Gail Harrell. And the 13th, we met with Senator Aaron Bean, Representative Rick Roth, Senator Debbie Mayfield. We had some productive meetings. There were some questions, and they were glad to see the commission up there. It's important they see our faces. They know who we are. So when they talk about Pahokee, they know the faces of Pahokee. Our request this year is Pahokee East Main Street stormwater improvement. It's House Bill 2557. As you heard, it's passed through committee. Another is House Bill 2567, and that's Phase 2 of MLK Park of $300,000. Another is House Bill 2769, which is the request for $2 million to rehab the marina and campground. I want to acknowledge the staff at Public Works. They've been hard at work. They've cleaned up the ditches at East Lake. It was grown up. They pressure cleaned the docks at the marina, even though it's cold out there. They were out there working hard on that. Trimmed some trees, getting the campground up to where it needs to be. It's just a drop in the bucket, but we're getting a start on it. If you've noticed, they've cleaned up 246 Main, trimmed the hedges, pressure cleaned it. We have some potential investors that may be interested in leasing that, so we want to make it presentable. Today I met with, he's not so new anymore, but the new colonel out of Jacksonville for the Army Corps of Engineers, and Senator Scott. Had a few minutes face-to-face with him. Gave an update on the lake project. It is a $1.8 billion project. They're 92% complete. They're putting in a secure wall inside the dike. Everybody around here is familiar with it. It was around here. It's 56 miles. It's a significant project. It's a total of 143 miles around the lake, and they're putting the wall in the south rim's 56 miles. Also, President Biden has announced that he's allocating $1.1 billion for Everglades Restoration out of the infrastructure bill. Hopefully we can utilize some of that around here. In June, the commission took action to include the city in the opioid settlement. For some reason or another, no action was taken on it. But today, the deadline is the end of this month. I sent in the paperwork to include the city. So if there's any settlement, the city be a part of it and get our slice of the pie. So that's taken care of. Went to Tallahassee, brought COVID back with me. I think there was 40 people in our group that tested positive after that. Tallahassee's been a hot spot. I still came to work undercover, driving around the streets. I just couldn't go in the office. I couldn't just sit at home. And look forward to getting the celebration business straightened out and on track. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Now we'll move to the city attorney report.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And we move on the old business. No, that was new business. So on the old business, we have the recall election status. I know we basically discussed some of that, but you can share any additional information that need to be shared at this time. Anything, City Attorney?
Oh, you have a copy of the judge's order in your backup. It speaks for itself, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I'll just quickly, I'm not going to prolong it, but just to add to that, the recall election that was scheduled for February the 1st have been called off by a judge. So that election won't move forward. I would say that 555 residents asked for the recall, and basically by technicality that the residents wasn't, for lack of a better word, intelligent enough or smart enough to know what they was voting for. It didn't meet the threshold that the judge thought should be there. He agreed with Attorney Brandenburg that it was vague and it should have included time, date, who was involved, when were they involved. However, he did note that you only have 200 words that you can include in a recall. But as someone mentioned earlier, the citizen will have their opportunity at the poll to speak and have their voices and their vote counted and heard. Now we'll move to...
Wait a minute, I'd like to say something, please. I'd like to say that the judge looked at all of the evidence, all of the testimony, heard everything, and made a decision based on there were accusations, there was no substance. And that, whether y'all believe it or don't believe it, doesn't matter, because that's what the judge decided. So, yes, ma'am, March 8th, we will decide. And I hope that everyone understands that this had to be done correctly. It was not done correctly, and that's why it got tossed. Okay? And so that's the reason.
Okay.
That's how it worked out, and on March 8th, the citizens will have their opportunity to decide what should be done.
Now we'll move...
I have a question on that, Mayor. I have a statement. Everything that Commissioner Bolden said was very false, because that is not what the judge said.
That is exactly what the judge said.
That is not what the judge said.
It's right here.
I did not but cut you off, Ms. Bolden. The recall election.
Don't lie then.
The recall committee, it was done correctly. And it passed through different phases that it went through. It was. Just as even in the, well, I'll get to that in my comment. Well, I'm gonna do it now because they always like to walk out on my stuff. So even as when with the recall, from what this was said, from Mr. Brandenburg stated to the judge that the citizens that signed it did not know what they were signing. Like they were illiterate, couldn't read it, and they didn't understand what it was.
That's not what he said.
That is what Mr. Brandenburg said.
No.
Those was exactly.
We have to... Commissioner Perez, even if we disagree with a statement, we have to allow each other to speak.
Mr. Brandenburg stated in his statement that the citizens did not know what they were signing. That we pushed that something in front of them and just told them to sign and they did not understand it. So when you tell me that I don't understand something and I'm reading it clearly, you tell me I'm pretty much illiterate of what I'm reading. So No, the citizens did sign it. They did, 555, if I'm not mistaken, did sign the recall. And the judges did understood what they were saying. So you telling me 2 judges is illiterate, but the last judge saying he don't want to know what he was signing? No, but that's fine. That's fine. That's over and that's done with. That's fine. But as they stated that the citizens did to me, you gave them a slap in the face. You tell me that their voice did not even matter. And twice they signed they signed this recall. Twice they signed it. So each time you telling them that you didn't know what you were signing. That's what you're saying. That's what you're telling them. But I'm gonna go back to this point. Who authorized? Because the question was never answered. Who authorized the city attorney, Mr. Brandenburg, to file a lawsuit against the recall committee? You and I both know, reading your ordinance, that Mr. Brandenburg cannot go on his own and just say, I'm going to file a lawsuit against anyone. That has to come from the committee as an agreement. Just as y'all made an agreement is for him to file one. So how come on this one he just can get up and just do it without the committee at all? Talking to Mr. Thompson, he said he didn't know anything about it. Talking to one that time, he said he wanted to find out the time when I find out, which I don't know when he knew I find out because I ain't never talked to one. So who gave him authorization of it? So we have to, as y'all always state, we have to face the fact. Did he just went against the city ordinance? Did he go against the city charter? This is the commission. I'm not talking to Mr. Brent. Did he not violate the city ordinance? One, did he not violate the city ordinance going against the charter?
I would have to read up on it to give you an answer.
Well, you know the city attorney cannot just go out and just file anything without the approval of the city commission. He works for the city commission.
Correct.
So he cannot go out and just, I'm going to file a lawsuit on this. And then he represents the city. How does he represent Regina Bowling and he represents the city?
You want me to give you an unfair answer? You want me to do my research?
I'm asking
to give you an honest answer.
As a commission, how does he represent the city? Because if you can remember, the ordinance that would have protected her, you guys voted that out. You guys voted that out. So tell me, how does he represent the one commission and he also represents the city?
Could I read this statement here, if I could interject in this? One of the city attorney's most important function is to render advice to the city commission on procedural and legal issues. The city attorney guidance should ensure that the commission members' action fall within the framework of the law and avoid violation of existing public meeting and conflict of interest laws. Remember, the city is the client. A city attorney does not represent any individual council member or staff member. Instead, he or she represents the actual city through its governing body. The advice that he or she gives to those individuals is and should always be intended to protect the client, in this case, the city as a whole. Your city attorney is not your personal attorney. While your city attorney may influence your decision based upon legal advice received, he or she is not a decision maker, only a resource to you in making the decision that by law only you can make.
Now, if you can remember when Ms. Bernadette Weeks was here, you two, when it got down to that ordinance and it talked about that, the first thing you guys said, oh, I don't think the city attorney should represent any commission. You remember you guys said that. The city attorney should represent any commission. If they get in something, whatever, they should have their own personal attorney. You guys said that. So how so now that was, they should not, no. In that ordinance, it would have actually protected Commissioner Boland. But you guys say that ordinance was a stupid ordinance because of the advice of Mr. Brandenburg should never even been agreed upon. So, again, Mr. Brandenburg violated the City of Pahokee ordinance when he went out and filed a lawsuit against the recall committee.
Actually, I saved the city
so I'm not talking to Mr. Brandenburg. Brandenburg, you only talk. You only talk when you're spoken to.
I saved you $30,000.
No, you also made us lose $74,000. So let's leave that. So it doesn't matter.
We
You
have a
still broke
commission
the
that-
ordinance. So this commission, as you say, transparent, need to do something about that because he broke the city ordinance. I'm not done. So I'm gonna make a motion. I'm gonna make a motion.
To pay the city attorney.
Mayor Bab, I still have the floor. I'm gonna make a motion.
Commissioner Perez, you can.
Mayor Bab, I'm gonna make a motion.
I still haven't spoken.
I'm gonna make I have a motion. I'm gonna make a motion that Mr. Brandenburg be terminated immediately for not just this, even when he going to the court filing other paper, anything that he files through the court has to come through the commission. It has to come through he could not go on his own. He works for the city of Pahokee. He represents the commission. Even in his documents, he states he only represents the majority, which one he represents you, he represents Regina, he represents Ms. Perez. These are his statements. He doesn't represent Bab and I. He only represents these. So that tells me he's not representing the city of Pahokee. So I'm making a motion that Mr. Brandenburg be terminated immediately on the cause of filing and going outside of the city ordinance. That's a motion I put on the floor.
If there's a second, I'll move to second that motion. There's a motion to immediately terminate the city attorney for violating city ordinance and the various other things that stated by Commissioner Mervin have been properly seconded by the mayor. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Mervin?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bab?
Yes.
Mayor Bab, sorry about that. Vice Mayor Boland?
No.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
No.
Commissioner Perez?
No.
Motion failed.
Oh, I'll comment.
Y'all didn't let me,
Thank
y'all
you.
didn't let me
It's
speak.
a shame
I've
somebody as
been trying to
intelligent
speak.
as you to come over here,
I'm gonna talk.
come over here and fight the righteousness for all this crooked stuff and all these lies and all this stuff. It's a shame somebody that works for the school board that comes in here, instead of coming here and being a productive citizen and try to advocate for the city, not try to fight for the people that are trying to do righteous.
You said it the right way. I am a citizen in my capacity right now. That lets you know I am not illiterate and I know exactly.
No, I
what
said you
signed
were
for, and
intelligent. I don't know about the
on that
illiteracy part. Don't you let you comprehend very good.
I did.
We're going to move on. We're close to concluding our meeting. We're going to move to that was part of your report. Are you done?
No, that part, I didn't know you got it. That was the recall. I haven't done my report. I was talking on the recall election.
Right. We'll move to commission comments, and I'll start.
We have new business that we added under K.
I'm sorry, we did. The travel approval of the city manager going to Tallahassee under new business. And we'll start with our city manager just giving us a brief explanation of that trip and the request.
It's for the trip to Tallahassee. It's part of my duties, but it was added to my contract to have out-of-county travel approved. It would have happened last month prior to, but it was an oversight on my part. So I'm bringing it to the commission now before I turn in any reimbursement.
Okay. Are there a motion?
I make a motion that we approve his travel to, the city manager's travel to Tallahassee.
I second it.
It's been moved by Commissioner Vice Mayor Bowling and properly second by Commissioner Perez that we approve the city manager travel to Tallahassee. Call for questions.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. I want to say that I think that the city manager being in Tallahassee was a big plus for this city. As we moved from senators and lobbyists and through the offices, he was very professional. He was very forthright with what's going on in our city and what we're doing to try to make this a better city. He spoke very, very nicely, and I think that the people that we spoke to were impressed with the city manager. So I want to say good job.
Okay.
I was able to give some a history lesson while we were there too. So outside of meetings, the commission did get together, walk through the old Capitol and go through some historical and have some social time together and come together for a common goal for this city. It was inspiring to me to see that this commission can come together for the citizens of Pahokee and work together, and they did on this occasion.
And I'll make a comment also to Vice Mayor. You was at all three of the meetings with the legislators as the city mayor. Out of the 5 of us in that group, well, including, well, 5 because Commissioner Mervin wasn't there, I was basically the spokesperson for that group. I know she's not going to give me no credit, and I'm not really seeking any, but I'm just putting that out on the record that I've spoke on behalf of the commission. Of course, the city manager, being the city manager, also spoke, but I'm just making sure that the audience and the public know that the mayor does speak on behalf during those legislative comments. If it's no more than just thanking them for their hard work and working with the city and helping move us forward. So I think we all did a good job as a whole. In addition to comments or questions, hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Bowling?
Yes.
Commissioner Perez?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Mervin?
Yes.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Now we'll move to our comments of the city commission, and I'll start with Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you. A lot of y'all aren't going to like me for what I have to say. I'm very disappointed with the commission, and I will look into what's going on with the city attorney. I don't know what's going on between the attorney and Tasha, but I will find out what's going on. Because I'm not down for anything illegal, make that clear. Okay, so I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I will look into it. Okay. Second, you're making a big issue, and I can understand that citizens signed the petitions for the recall, but you're forgetting I was part of a committee to do a recall on you and Mayor Babs. You both violated the voters' rights, the same voters' rights. No, it's on the news. It's on the news. It's in the newspaper. Y'all went in the box. No, it's not accusation, Mayor.
It's a total
Mayor,
accusation. No, it's not an
during
accusation,
the
it's a
5
lie.
days, you guys held on to the box full of the recall. You, Tasha Mervin, called a citizen who signed the petition within those 5 days. That box should have been turned into supervisory election the same day.
I'm speaking of the mayor. Who did I call?
I didn't say you, I said Tasha.
Oh, I thought you
But
said we both.
Tapple was out there trying to get your name off the recall before they even had the box.
We're talking about me as an elected official. What violation did I do with that recall?
She did the same thing.
I don't know about Regina. I can only speak, I wasn't in that committee. I'm in this committee. I'm in this committee. I'm just saying, I'm not mad. What I'm trying to say, no. Listen, hear me out. No.
Yes, you did.
Commissioner
Sarah Perez.
Oh, my
Tasha.
God, I'm so sick of y'all coming
Tasha.
in here. What
Tasha.
you do
The
is
work,
so wrong.
Commissioner Perez,
It's
the
never
world
wrong.
is listening to you.
And everything else that we do, even though
Sarah.
we get
Show
the
the
right
Sarah.
outcome, you always
Show
make
the
it
proof.
a
Sarah.
different outcome. So you put a spin on it.
Sarah.
You're both out of order. You got Commissioner Gonzalez have the floor. Allow
Look.
him to finish his comments.
Look,
Just
what
out of respect, whether you agree with him or disagree.
Thank you, sir. What I'm trying to say is, don't look the other way when you know there was wrong done before. You know, right is right, wrong is wrong. And if I'm correct, somebody out there signed the petitions too. I'm not going to put them out there like that, though. Okay? But you have to understand, if you're right, you're right. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. So don't throw something at somebody when you didn't do no better yourself. You're talking about the robbing the people of the votes. Yes, we have witnesses that you called on the specific dates
You don't
on
have
phone
proof
calls.
that I took the made copy, so don't put that out there.
How did you know what time of the main copy you took them?
That's what she said, I made copies. She said.
I didn't even mention about you taking. I said you looked in the box.
One, go ahead.
Mayor, make sure everybody gets it.
Okay, well, anyways, like you say, move on. The past is the past, right? I accept it. I accepted what you guys did. Okay, y'all did whatever y'all did. Y'all got
I just
away
said
with
when
it.
the attorney broke the
And
law.
that's fine.
That's what I said.
But that's fine. That's fine. What I'm trying to say is, you know, just do what's right. You're going to play the field the right way. Do it right. Don't do shady stuff. That's all I'm
I don't do
asking.
shady
I didn't do
stuff.
any shady stuff.
I don't do shady stuff.
Okay? And now here's another thing. We have a particular person who's running for commissioner, Derek Bowden. Okay? He's out there telling people, Ms. Perez paid me $1,000
I don't have nothing
to
do with
run.
that.
No, I'm just clearing the facts up so
make
everybody
your
can
statement
understand
to
this.
the people, not
Yeah,
to
not
Let
to you,
him
not to
talk,
you.
it's his time.
Not to you, okay? We have a guy by the name Derek Bowden who's running for city commissioner, okay? Accusing me of taking $1,000 from Miss Sarah Perez. Somebody else from my, I'm gonna look it up tonight. I was told that somebody else said I took $1,200 from Sarah Perez. Now, if I can find these things, I'm thinking about taking legal action because it's not right. You can't assume and accuse somebody of something that didn't happen. Unless you have proof, don't even mention it. I'm sorry? I mean, whoever's saying it, who's starting this, please provide me the proof because it's not true. Now, in reference to Mr. Octavio Munoz, whatever his last name is from Pahokee, he says on Facebook, okay, that I was against, who was it? No, I'm sorry. Derek Bowden says that I was against Cinco de Mayo in reference to Octavio, because Octavio Munoz telling people that I had an issue with him having his shaved ice on my personal property. Okay, if you just in case, Octavio Munoz is a big guy from Pahokee Shaved Ice.
What point are you making, though?
What I'm trying to say
like
is,
you rambling
It's his comment.
No,
He's allowed to say whatever he
what I'm
wants.
trying to clear, I'm rambling because.
Take your mask off so they can
Why you let
understand
her
you
go
really
on
good.
for an hour
No,
and he's
what-
talking and you want to
No,
interrupt him?
what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get through is, we have people out there throwing shade because it's election time. Don't use me for election. That's between you guys. I have nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't use my name to benefit yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, this thing about the Cinco de Mayo, I'm 100% on board for Cinco de Mayo. Octavio went over and pulled permits behind my back without my permission, charging people to have food trucks out there and having a live band and whatever. He knows what it was about. Ms. Polanco was there when he discussed everything. Pulled all these permits without my permission on my personal property. For him to tell people out there in the Hispanic community that I was against it, it's a lie. I told him I wasn't charging, that he should have done everything right from the beginning. That's what I told him. So I just want to get that clear out there. I don't know who you want to believe, don't want to believe, but everything's it's on the files in the city over here, at City Hall. Pull up all the paperwork you have to, so that way you can get a better understanding. Everything he did was wrong and behind my back. He never had my permission to be on that property to the very last day, and I let him do it. So this isn't about me being against the Hispanic community. You do things the right way, and everything starts with your permits. You do everything the right way. Don't do any shady business behind anybody's back. It doesn't matter. That's all I'm trying to say is we got to work together and get these things done the right way. How can we support these things being done all corrupt and everything? We can't do that. And it's all because it's election year. It's ridiculous. Keep me out of your business.
Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and move this way. I'm gonna go ahead with my report or my comments. Just this past Saturday, IJM Insurance and Tax Service held a grand opening of their new tax business and insurance business. It's located at 725 East Main Street, Suite B. That's next to Bose Mobility. The insurance service include insurance for homes, renters, automobiles, boats, motorcycles, commercial liability, workman compensation, life, health. Other services include Medicare, retirement planning, income tax services, credit repair, notary, copying service, fax, and e-fax. Also on Saturday, I would just like to thank Robert Love and Company. This is a community grassroots organization that was formed to help neighbors, helping neighbors. They provided 20 units of washers and dryers to single-family mothers and fathers, including the elderly was able to receive a washing dryer. They did pre-screening to make sure that those items that was given was for the most needy in our community. I also would like to personally thank Jeannie Brown, Gail Love, Teresa Bynes, Bishop Eden Eugene Babs, Commissioner Clara Mervin, Deborah Babs, Jonathan Mann and his son. They went out and helped deliver the washers and dryers. And also to all the people in the community who donated funds to make this event such a success. The Martin Luther King Day celebration in the city of Pahokee was a huge success. It was an awesome event. I extend thanks to everyone who came out and participated in the event. To the local pastors, the churches, all organizations, the elected officials, the community leaders, the school drumline, the fraternities, the sororities, the local vendors, the residents, the visitors, and the general public for your participation in this event. Special thanks also go to the Centennial Committee Chair, our program speaker, the Martin Luther King Committee Chair, Pastor Benny Everett III, who is the program speaker, PBSO, the Honor Guard, the Fire Department, Everglades, Pahokee Parks and Recreation, the American Legion, and of course the DJ that played for that occasion. I also like to mention and reiterate, we received funding from the American Rescue Plan Act. We got our first installment. It was $1.5 million. I am again requesting that we form a citizen committee to help decide how those funds should be spent. They're not going to have total control, but it's recommendation and suggestion. And I think that committee should be composed of our farming community, our business community, our religious community, our residents or cross-section of this community should be represented on that committee. This is something that's not required, but it has been highly recommended that all cities form a committee, a citizen committee to assist in that process. And lastly, it's evident that this commission, at least the majority of us, would not be acceptable to firing at this time Attorney Brandenburg. But I will put forth a motion based on him walking out of 2 meetings, leaving the city without proper legal attorney during that time, and the fact that he on his own, it appeared, since he's not throwing the commission under the bus for approving his action of entering into a lawsuit on behalf of the city, I would recommend at a minimum that we do a reprimand in his file, this personnel file, to point out those discrepancies in his performance. And that is my motion.
I'll second that, Mayor.
It has been moved by the mayor and properly seconded by Commissioner Mervin that we, as a commission, as a whole, this is approved by the majority, do a reprimand for Attorney Brandenburg. Call for questions. Hearing none, you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bab?
Yes.
Commissioner Mervin?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Boland?
No.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
No.
Commissioner Perez?
No.
Motion failed by a 3-2 majority.
Let's make
Now
that clear. Let's make that clear. No for now. I'm going to do some research. You guys aren't up here. You don't know what you're doing. It's easy for you guys because y'all are out there sitting down.
Thank you. And we'll move to Vice Mayor Boland report, comments.
I just want to say thank you for everybody who came out tonight. I'm really proud of the city, and I'm really proud of how we all came together for the children, for the little soccer kids, and came together and made sure that those kids have the ability to play. 12 teams is awesome, and that's phenomenal, and I'm so happy to see it. I want to promise that I will work very hard with the county. I have already started that process to make sure that we do get a soccer field, more than one soccer field, and hopefully a soccer stadium for the kids as they progress and as they grow, so that we can have soccer from the time they are tiny to the time we're all old. It can be done, and all we have to do is pull together to make that happen. I just want to say there's a lot of talk on the street. This is my time to talk, so I'm going to say that I appreciate the fact that there's a lot of discussion out there about the recall. And I appreciate that anyone who has a question about the recall or what I think about it or anything about it can call me, 561-914-5886. Call me and let's talk about it, okay? Because it wasn't me who decided it. It was a judge who decided that that was wrong and threw it out. So I think that my record and what I have done for this city speaks for itself, and I'm sure you'll agree. Whether you agree it was good or bad, you'll agree with that statement. So I want to say that I'm proud of everything that we have accomplished in the last few months. In the last 4 or 5 months, I think that we have accomplished more than we've accomplished in the last 3 years that I've been sitting here. And I know moving forward, we can accomplish so much more. So I want to thank everybody who participate. I want to thank the staff. I think y'all do an excellent job. And I know that we work you guys really hard. And I want to say I'm not against, because they sure made it sound like that tonight, that I'm against the centennial celebration, but I'm not. I'm a part of that committee, and I will work very hard to make sure that we have a great centennial celebration. But I'm also a commissioner, and I cannot sit here and spend the city's money and not ask, how's it going to be spent? Where's the budget? How are we getting it? We didn't budget it. So those are things that we have to look at, and we have to start running this city like a business. This city is a business, and we can't just keep writing checks and printing money. We can't do that. So we need to watch every dime, and that's what I intend to do. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Vice Mayor Boland, if I can ask you one question, you may answer it and you may not. It's just a rumor, maybe you can clear it up. The rumor is that on Christmas Eve, you was going around passing out wine and vodka to the community. Is that a rumor or is that fact?
Really?
Yes. You didn't hear it? You haven't heard that? I'm just asking.
You're unbelievable.
You were just passing out washers and dryers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Commissioner Perez.
Okay. I thank God, I thank the Holy Spirit for holding me back today and counting to 10 and praying and doing everything that I have to because I'm trying to control myself out here. It's so aggravating when you come here and you want to take care of business for the city. You want to start doing what the vision, working with the rest of the commission, the vision that you have to see it come true, to realize it. And then you have this group of citizens that supposedly, they're the advocate for the community. They come here, they sit every meeting, they interrupt, they're rude, but it's like, I'm gonna call you stupid before you could call me. They try to put everything that they have done, try to make it like it's our doing. When they get, since we took office, we said here, they defended Ms. Adams, because Ms. Adams was such a good worker. But then she left, okay? She had to do with the bids, the contracts. She also was the interim city manager for a while. We had the $210,000 for resurfacing Phase 4. That we almost lost. We had the $250,000 for McKay. That we almost lost. McClure project, we lost it. We're working on trying to get a new agreement. The 700, that was not the McClure project. The $750,000 for East Lake. $675, if they don't renew it, are gonna go, and we're not gonna be able to use that money. All because they did not do their job. They did not do their job. They didn't just get this money the last few months before they quit. They knew they were getting this money. It should have been planned. It should have been supervised. It should have been executed the right way. There was never no overseeing, no management of the project. Projects were being done however they wanted. And that's whenever they were able to do it, it was at the last minute, because it always, if you look back at the previous bids that we got, it was always the last minute. Oh, well, we don't have, we had Technomarine, but we had to let them go because, oh, Lord and behalf. They took $150,000 that the city mayor, the city manager gave. I don't know if he was borrowing your rubber stamp, because you didn't even know about it when it was disclosed in the meeting, about $150,000 that he gave without no authorization to Technomarine. And you will say, I didn't know about it, and what did he say? You signed for it. The only reason you could have signed for it and not know about it is if he had your stamp and he stamped it and he paid that money. Okay, so then he turned around and he blamed Technomarine when they had a deal going for the $150,000. Okay, so for everybody that's listening, don't let people put this smoke in your eyes. When the river roars, it's because, it's got its reason. And we knew all this was being mismanaged, and we were asking for public records, which was ignored for 2 years. This request had been ignored. After 6 months of writing emails every day, I said, you know what? I give up. There is a God. He's a just God, and everything's going to come to light. Just like every wrong thing that they did in this city, it will come to light. It will come to light because you know what? Because that is what I said when I ran, and that is what I stand for, and that's what I will continue to do. Like it who like it, and like it who don't like it. Because if you don't like it, that means that you're either crooked or you're part of the crookedness or you were ignorant to what's going on. Because if you're really for the righteous, then you want what we're doing here. We're trying to do right. Don't try to stick up and defend people that did not do right, causes that did not do right. I don't speak here attacking anybody personally because I get along with everybody. It's a performance. It's a business. If you don't do right, we're fighting for right and wrong, not for black, for whites, or Hispanic. And Mr. Bolden, I am very, 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 but very insulted at your comments. At your comments. You look around all you want to, at your comments. Okay? Your comments. Pro-blacks, and we gotta take the city because you got the Hispanics and all the Hispanics and you're trying to divide. Sir, for you to be a teacher, a leader in the community, and you are teaching the kids that belong to all the community, Hispanics, whites, and black alike. You should not, if you cannot go out there and campaign on what qualities you have to bring into this seat and to help the community. If you don't have it, then don't run. But if you're gonna run attacking everybody else, what everybody else is doing and the character and promoting lies. Because from now on, sir, you better back it up. You better back it up because I am tired of you guys slandering our name through the mud, okay? It's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it. I will hit the streets. I will take all my evidence and I will discredit all the lies that you guys sitting here, you, the mayor, and the ones sitting in the audience that have attacked us from day one, okay? Knowing that we had invoices that were over a year old, okay? There was no minutes recorded for the prior 2 years. The cemetery, there was no deeds filed for 2 years. There's so much mismanagement in that city hall under the old administration, but I never heard none of you guys come up here and talk and complain and fight and go out and sign petition. You didn't do any of that. Nope. You didn't do it. Why? Either you were part of the corruption, you're ignorant to the corruption, or you're just helping it. You're abating it. That is my take. That is my take. I've sat here for 9 months and I've had to listen, meeting after meeting, even from the beginning, allowing people to send emails without names, without addresses, attacking, myself, my husband, our business. Oh, but now, all of a sudden, after you talk about, myself, my husband, his businesses, whatever, after you talk about it, now you want to write letters, oh, you're a business in the community. Why don't you help out? Why don't you? It's like always, give me your money because I need it, and then I'm going to talk about you when I have to talk about you because I'm going to use you like a little pawn. But that's going to stop. That's going to stop. And the same thing that you guys claim things, we also have things, believe me. We have things. We have like a property was purchased for $15,000 when it was worth probably at least $80,000, but yet no one in the city was able to bid because nobody in the city knew about it. But there's people here that did it, and like that, 100 million other shady deals that were done in the city. Now my thing is, yes, March the 8th, we're gonna have an election, okay? My things to the people that are listening is if you want to go back to what you had before, because believe me, Lucas is lurching around, Weeks is lurching around. They're all waiting. They're all waiting. They're all waiting because they think they're gonna take the seats up here. And you know, I will respect whatever decision you make. I just want you to know that whatever you do, this is the most important election that you're gonna vote on.
We all agree on that.
Because, yes,
That's
we
the only
do
thing we
agree.
agree on.
Either you go back to the corruption or you keep moving to the directions that we're willing to take you. It's your choice.
They see the videos, so they're aware.
Yes, I'm glad.
Vice Mayor, say Commissioner Mervin.
Mr. Thompson, I want to thank you for the documents that you did provide. Maybe you should give these documents to the other commissioners, because all of this stuff that talks about fraud and money missing, you gave me a copy of every bank account that's in the city of Pahokee. And when they look at these accounts, I don't see money missing. I see projects are still getting done. Some of them might be late. You have to remember, if you look at the date the project started, it actually started when everybody was.
Let her to talk.
I did not talk when you
We
talked.
sat up here patiently while you rambled on without any interruption.
The projects that started actually started
Throughout the whole meeting.
when actually pretty much the whole staff have left when projects started. If you go back and look at some of your commission meetings, even when Ms. Adams were in the seat, this commission wouldn't have approved anything that she tried to bring forth to the commission to start a project. Now, only thing, and as far as all that she said, that's fine. But I would like to make a correction again on Mr. Brandenburg. And one, there's nothing going on between me and Mr. Brandenburg. You say you want to bring out facts. To me, you bring out facts, okay? Facts. He made a statement in the paper where it said the judge's rules for Pahokee City attorney rehired illegally by the commission. That's not fact. That's actually, he put that in the paper. That's false. Because if you read the judge's ruling, as it states that they never let me read it. If you read the judge's ruling, it says, again, the court, who is the judge, says, it's pretty obvious there was a violation in July. They're talking about the July 23rd meeting. The extent that the judgment is appropriate on that issue, the court is going to grant it. Okay? It is still a consequence of having violation of the Sunshine Law. I would think that there is. So what I like all you to do is prepare proposed orders. That's when they were trying to get ready to go to court. The motion is granted in part with respect to the lack of notice and some of the other issues that was raised regarding the meeting that was occurred in July. Certainly, there was a violation of the Sunshine Law. So, he was asking to prepare.
Advertised.
Please let me finish.
Commissioner Perez, you the only one interrupt when others talk.
Then
Miss
let her
Glenn-
tell the whole story. Why was the Sunshine Law violated?
Whether you
He
agree
doesn't
with
say
it or
that
not,
it
you
was.
shouldn't interrupt. No one interrupted you.
Ms. Glidman asked the judge to clarify. So she said, yes, Judge, I know you mentioned finding the violation of the Sunshine Law with respect of the 23rd. What about the different ordinances that are raised? Are you making findings with respect to those? Well, certainly. There are a violation there also. I understand that there was an argument when they were trying to figure out what to do about it, and I'll get to that. So yeah, it says, but here, there are no facts would, I can't read some of the writing he has here. In another term, so yeah, there's a violation of the ordinance as well as statute. That is when Mr. Brandenburg went and filed the motion to have the committee do a mediation for it not to go to court. That's why I did not go to court. He filed the mediation with the the recall committee, or whatever committee that was, and they settled out for $74,000. That's why he had to come in here and make the statement saying that it was, we should not have had that meeting. That's on record. He read that into minutes. So even in one of the meetings, Ms. Perez even said, yes, they did violate the Sunshine Law because the city clerk did not advertise the meeting.
That's not us. That's not us violating.
Either way it goes.
We are not.
Either way it goes, we are the elected officials.
Say it right.
We are the elected officials. Whether it was advertised correctly or not, we're the elected officials. So as he stated, it should not have been done on July the 23rd. So I wanted to put that on record, that the violation of the Sunshine Law was broken. Yes, it was. Between Juan Gonzalez, Sarah Perez, and Regina Bowden.
By the city staff, that it was not
advertised. That's court record.
It was not advertised. That, you don't read it like you want to read
That's
it. You
court
read
record.
it how it's supposed to be.
Is a motion on the floor to adjourn? Is there a second?
No, it's not, I want to put
I'll
a
second.
motion. I want to put another motion.
I'll second.
I'm going to put a motion that we
Is-
authorize.
It's a motion on the floor
Is a
already.
motion on the floor and second?
I want
I
to
second.
make a
Questions?
motion that we authorize Attorney Brandenburg to have represented the city and Regina Bolden or whatever it was in the.
You can't do
Roll,
that.
roll call, Madam Clerk.
Do I get a second?
It was a motion,
Anybody want a
it was
second?
a motion on the floor, so your motion is invalid.
You can make it after. Okay. Finish it.
Roll call,
Mayor Bab,
yes.
Vice Mayor Mervin.
What was the motion?
Adjourn the meeting.
Who seconded it?
I seconded the meeting, say,
No.
You voting against y'all?
Wait.
to adjourn the meeting, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna call the roll.
Gonzalez? Okay.
Mayor Bab,
Yes.
Commissioner Mervin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bowman,
No.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
No.
Motion passed. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Can't stay all night.